Jinkies, everybody. Welcome to Night of Fright Part 2. Actually, I should say Night of Fright 2, The Lich's Ghost Part 1, because I do need to be specific about that. Everybody, welcome. This is part of Sword and Keys October Charity Month here. We've only gotten one game in so far. This is game 2, and I'm joined again by the very lovely cast who joined us last year. I was super excited that not a single person was like, oh, fuck you. Like, no, of course I'm not going to do this, which means I did something half right last time. With a special thank you to them. Special thank you to you in the audience for joining us. This game is in support of NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, which is an organization that has been near and dear to me for a number of years. I started working with NAMI when I was in college and continue to do so through today. It is an organization that helps to advocate for people with mental health issues and mental illnesses. It helps to basically humanize people to a world, and especially a country here in the United States especially, that has a lot of misconceptions about mental health and can even help people to access care when and if they need it. So having a mental health issue does not make you a monster. It does not have to be scary. So in this month where we talk about scary things and monsters, we can talk about the real scary things in monsters like liches, ghosts, and talking gnolls, and leave people with mental illnesses to get treated the same way as you were as if you had, broken a bone or had, something wrong with an organ. Your brain is just another part of you, and sometimes it needs medical care too. That doesn't have to be a scary thing. So, that said, donations at this time will go to impact this game. You can give advantages, you can give crits, you can make me speak like Scooby-Doo and or Casey Kasem. I will say or, I'm not doing both at the same time. Well, I guess I could because he did do Scooby-Doo for a while, but that's getting a little too deep in the weeds. So, this will be part 1. Last year, we tried to squeeze what was essentially a 4-hour and game into... We did it in like 4.5, but I want to let these players stretch their legs a little bit more than last year, so we'll do this in 2 sessions. So we'll be back next week as well. I'm going to have these people go around and say a little bit about themselves and their characters. One last thing before I do, this is a Sword and Key game. You can find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can find the link to donate to NAMI in our chat, also on our socials, and also on that Beacons. All our affiliate ships, all of our other philanthropic endeavors, all of our socials, everything all in one neat, nice place. That said, let's go ahead and go around. Ark, you are in the top left. If you don't mind starting us out. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Arcane Ending, or ARC for short. I use any and all pronouns. And I'll be playing Shaggy, who is our Way of the Coward monk.
It is it's a great... I love the stylizations that every character gets, so I'm very excited. I do love the Way of the Coward monk, because hey, it is a fighting style. Those who fight and run away live to fight another day. That said, Katie, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Katie. I forget what all we're supposed to say. I'm playing Dafni, who is a tiefling Pact of the Damsel warlock.
Fantastic, you nailed it. Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
I was like, oh shit, I forgot right at the last moment.
No, you're all good. Next up, we have Tori.
Hello, my name's Tori. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me all over the internet as that nerd Tori. And today I will be playing Velma, who is a halfling rogue. I don't think she has like a fun type of rogue name, but she does have spectacles that do fun things. So yeah, that's who I am.
Incredible. Yeah, I'm excited for those spectacles to not fall off your face a single time. Next up, we have Mikyl.
Hi fam, I'm Mikyl, he, him pronouns. I'm playing a new bard named Skahooby. He, him pronouns.
Mikyl has to leave. Mykyl's mom says that he can't play this anymore. Thank you all already for that group advantage. I'm sure that these players will put that to great use. Hopefully not super early. And last but absolutely not least, we have Jenine.
Hello, my name is Jenine Florence. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me Jenine Florence on like all social medias, and I'm playing Sir Frederick, aka their sweet half-orc paladin Oath of Traps? Oath of Traps? Is that what it is?
Oath of Traps?
Oath of Traps? Oath of Enstarements?
Yeah.
That feels right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the traps.
Oh, the traps. That's
Yeah.
me.
I was also trying to see if Velma did have a subclass, because it's weird that she kind of doesn't, but I guess she doesn't. So
Yeah, I'm just assuming I'm a spectacle rogue or something.
yeah, no, it does. Your description does say eyes bespectacled, skin pasty, hair red tinged. So they just really came for Velma. Damn.
And I managed to nail it all except the red hairs. No putting any red in this.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that Velma is a halfling.
Yes,
So
I'm
yeah.
little.
Yeah, like Dafni is a tiefling, Sir Frederick's a half orc. Yeah, just something to remember. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you again to you. Thank you for donating already. As I said, Nami is a great cause. Should you be willing and able and have a couple extra bucks sitting around, very much appreciated and can make this game even further. That said, we have other games in between. So if you happen to donate on Monday or Tuesday, that actually might get paid forward to Call of Cthulhu, which is a fantastic game. It's going to be playing on Wednesday. But then, after that, Thursday, Friday into Saturday, I think. I don't know. What's my calendar? We'll talk about that at the end. Just bear in mind that donations during this game will directly impact this game. If they happen after, they might not. I should also say, I don't think I said, I'm Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. I am the sword half of Sword and Key, and I'm GM for this game as I am for many games. So let's set the scene for our mystery LLC, because this is legally distinct. This is not Scooby-Doo. This is Sukubi and Mystery LLC. They are not meddling kids, they're meddling adventurers. And these meddling adventurers have already done a little adventuring and investigation here on Sword and Key last year with the original Night of Fright, where they were invited to a manor that was supposedly haunted, and a bunch of people got sacrificed to some sort of eldritch ritual, and they ended up solving it, and it was only kind of a super hard fight with an undead guy. It was fine. I'm sure they're used to just unmasking miscreants here and there, dealing with puzzles and problems, and typically things go pretty swell for Mystery LLC. So we find you all in your cool green wagon, the Clue Cruiser, as you are wheeling down a rural path. It has been maybe about a week since Sir Frederick found a flyer left in the windshield. Wagons don't have windshields. I would say nailed to the side of the Clue Cruiser, inviting you to an event, a small town get-together. And as far as you could tell, the flyer seemed professionally made. It said that you were specifically invited, that there was a little note left on it saying that Mystery Incorporated were to be the guests of the town council there, and especially one Benjamin Harker. And it seemed that Benjamin Harker left a special note and special invitation for just you all. Otherwise, it said that there was going to be music, frivolity, and a show unlike any other. So, taking this on as something fun to do in the autumnal months, you have all piled into the Clue Cruiser and now find yourselves just cresting over the hill to see the small town below. What are you all up to in the Clue Cruiser? This is maybe better part of a day's travel for you all from wherever you were traveling from. What does travel look like for you all? As I also go to switch up music.
I think Velma spends a lot of time reading when she's not vaguely motion sick. It's that nerd problem of being both wanting to read in a car, but also deeply nauseated by reading in a car. So she's sort of back and forth between, I can get a chapter in, and no, I can't, I have to look out the window.
Love it. I think Dafni goes between brushing her hair and touching up her makeup to passing out snacks for everyone and hydration.
I have to ask if we find Shaggy and Sukubi in the back with just an impossibly large sandwich, or something that has way too many pickles and peanut butter or something like that.
Oh yeah. There's a special second snack container for the obscenely large sandwiches just for them. Nobody else really
Yeah.
likes them as much, so they get their own big sandwich cooler.
Yeah, typically you would think the halfling would be the one to have, they have second breakfast. You would think they have second snacks, but
It's the car
Yeah.
sickness,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm up in the front driving the cart.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the only
No-
one
no
with
one
your
else is
cart
allowed.
license.
I'm the only one with the cart license, yeah. Don't touch it.
I'm actually really curious. I don't have all of your character sheets pulled up. I can if need be, but does Fred have land vehicles proficiency?
I don't even think I have. There's the only things listed in my proficiencies is common, orc, and then dark vision.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
That
I think
feels,
you were the driver last year too, though.
Yeah, that feels wrong. I feel like I should have that though.
It only-
Traditionally, Fred's the only one with
Yeah.
a license.
But also, could we like if it's a cart and it's being like if it's horses and if it's rope being guiding the horses, I feel like that's close to trapping.
Okay.
You trap the horses into servitude.
In no way was I asking for a roll, Janine, but I do appreciate your lawyering of, yeah, we've trapped the horse into service. You're absolutely right.
No. It just he said yes, and I was like, okay, cool.
No, it's a real reverse Ratatouille sort of situation. Absolutely. Okay, so you find the small town of Haven. The flyer had indicated this was a harvest festival, and you can see what is a small, cozy town. Maybe a dozen buildings, maybe a few more than that, with some lights coming through the window. A small gathering of people that are kind of just dots in the distance, as you still have a little distance to go to get into town. But you can see that there's a stage being erected. There's like the smell of like roasting apples is kind of drifting through the air, even this far away into town. The smell of cinnamon. It feels very autumnal, as you even see like orange and yellow leaves drifting down from the trees around you, and they crunch underneath the wagon wheels. So your journey continues in, and pretty uneventfully, as the smells and sounds only become more indicatory on your sensories. You can see as you're getting closer that a number of townspeople seem to have gathered around the stage, and are all kind of there's definitely a hubbub of just general chatter. Nobody necessarily seems in any distress. There's no show or anything going on, no music. You can see that there's some like bobbing for apples. There's scarecrows that are kind of just like posted up as decoration, bales of straw that people are sitting on. This definitely gives you, small town harvest festival vibes. Anything you all want to do before you jumped out of the cart?
Not before I jump out of the cart, but I know something that's going to happen as I'm getting out of the cart.
I will say that, this is a carriage. You can see that there is a person approaching you who is dressed in some finery, waistcoat, I should say. This kind of like orangish coat. He has these sideburns on him. These kind of like deep set eyes with this like deep blue color to his irises. And as you all are stepping out of the carriage, he has a small cane that he kind of just plants in the ground as he stops and goes, "Is that Mystery LLC I see? Welcome."
Okay,
Oh,
so I go to hop out of the cart, right? But I trip. But it's like I go to trip, but what ends up happening is like a really pretty like swirly flourish, and her dress like flies out like spinning perfectly, and it makes like her hair toss on accident, and she just happens to like catch herself on like something nearby, and it looks like she did it on purpose, but she absolutely just slipped, and it was her like damsel saving her, and she's like, "Oh, hello, it was so nice to be invited."
Yes, absolutely. I had no idea that heroes of your caliber had even heard of our little town, our little haven. what brings you all here?
Well, we were invited directly.
Velma has the flyer. It had our names on it.
He, like, his face kind of drops a little bit. Like, there's definitely this forced smile. This is, I don't think even insight is involved. This is a politician for sure, and he is trying to hold a smile as his eyes glance to the flyer, and he's narrowing his eyes, when all of a sudden, you hear a large crash and an explosion, and you see distant screams far off, closer to the stage, at the heart of the festival. As far as what you could tell from your near bird's eye view as you were kind of looking down, you can see that black clouds are swirling and green lightning begins to flash. And from those black clouds and that green lightning, a figure, a form begins to shape. Literally verbatim, a woman, beautiful in an undead sort of way, generates. She is semi-translucent and has hair that seems to be flowing with the smoke that she herself is almost made of, lightning crackling through her form. And as the panicked crowd looks up towards her, her face twists, and for a second you can see a skull formed where her face was. And as it forms back to that beautiful face of a woman once again, she speaks out, "You walk on cursed ground. I am Sira Brightmoon, and I declare your lives forfeit." And as she says that, she is scanning the crowd with this, like, long-nailed finger, and she scans across all of you as well. And then lightning flashes once again, and you watch as one of the attendants closest to the smoke collapses onto the ground. The ghost, as far as you were able to tell, cackles as the smoke and lightning dissipates, and she is seemingly gone.
Oh boy, we can never have a nice normal trip, can we?
Oh, scary.
And I wanted to bob for apples.
Oh.
Well, gang, it looks like we got a mystery in our hands.
Oh, no, I don't think there's any mystery or anything. I wouldn't worry about anything.
Well, do you have an
I-
explanation for what just
Mhm.
happened?
Well, a bit of stage magic, perhaps.
Who's the magician?
Well, we don't have any magician.
Hmm.
That said, we do
Sounds
have
like a
pyrotech-
mystery.
Well, we do have. I'm sure you've heard of them, and that's no reason to stay because it's definitely not going to be a good show. But we do have the Hexblade girls, and they have certain pyrotechnics and flim-flammering and all that. And I think they're just going to. I think it was just an early part of their show, perhaps a misfire. Understands? Yeah. You can go. Everything's fine here, Nathan.
Go
Your
to the
invitation
stage and
seems,
check the mystery. That sounds like a great plan, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, even if it's just the Hexblade girls, I'd love to see them.
Does the name Sarah Brightmoon mean anything to us or to me?
This will be a pretty high check, but I think Dafni might be if anyone were to hear of her, it might be Dafni. So go ahead and give me a history
Okay.
check.
History. Well, it doesn't even have a bonus to my history. Oh, it's because there's not one. Great. Honest. It's so fabulous. What is this dice? 15?
Yeah, 15 unfortunately is not going to do it. You can't really recall anything specific about. I mean, it sounds like a local name. Maybe there's some sort of investigation you could do about local people, but nothing that you could necessarily derive just from her name. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Fred. You said you were going to the stage.
Confidently walking towards the stage. I interpreted that we needed to solve a mystery and did not. I zoned out the entire time.
Okay. The gentleman who welcomed you all is kind of like trying to keep up with your long half-orc strides at this point with his cane. I'm sure it was just a bit of the pyrotechnics, and I'm sure that if anyone was injured, and thus unfortunately somebody was, that they'll be just fine.
I would love to see the mechanics of the pyrotechnics, because those are. I mean, that's pretty cool. That seems like some cool stuff. I'm just gonna keep going.
And I've actually heard of the Hexblade girls. They're really cool. I'd love to get to see them, and also figure out what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get perception checks from everybody, please.
Ooh.
I feel like Velma knows that this guy's full of shit, but she's just...
She knows. She knows.
Wow, I
That's
rolled a
one.
3.
I rolled a 2.
Where's my perception? Haha, but I have a +6 to
12.
perception, so that's a 9 total.
Nice.
Okay. Sounds like Michael got a 21.
21.
Whoa!
Okay.
Plus 11.
So
Holy moly.
Sukubi, I would say takes in senses differently than a lot of people. Being a gnoll, a lot of people perception is visual, especially. There's the smell of smoke still in the air. Definitely the sound of everybody kind of being disrupted. There's a lot of murmuring going on. But Scoob, you can smell death. It's a very clear smell, and it wasn't there before. So your determination is that the person who fell is past, and you can see through the crowd that 2 of the townsfolk have already grabbed a stretcher and have loaded that person on and are rushing the body away.
Roll. He does that thing where Scooby like points his nose, and then the tail gets very straight, like an arrow.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, Scoob?
It's
I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I was thinking, my brain disconnected there for a second.
Zoinks, death.
Yes. Yikes! Death.
Jinkies.
Rat's a murder. And Reese Brandstrotter.
This is going great.
Oh Lord.
Brandstrotter is like the title of the episode, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
do love Scooby Doo as just a rimple runtry royer.
mhm.
Marauder.
Uh,
Can't wait to see the Lincoln lawyer as replace Matthew McConaughey with Scooby Doo. Okay, so yeah, getting closer. You can absolutely see that the stage is still being set up, but there are. Fred, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
An Arcana?
Yes, please.
Oh no. There's a 3.
Okay, you can at least determine that there are pyrotechnics. They are semi-magical. This is like what an artificer might put together. You're not sure how they work, and you can't really tell much about them, but like Fred's cool. He's been to concerts before. He's seen this sort of thing. Maybe he doesn't get front row tickets, that's fine, but he's at least seen pyrotechnics before. They've solved enough mysteries that he can identify. But as far as like doing anything with them, knowing if they've been recently fired, what like color they do, anything specific about it, he's not really sure.
Well, this looks like a neato setup.
It really does. And the Hexblade girls are currently getting ready, so as much as I would love to introduce you. Speaking of introductions, my name's Mayor Coney. I'm the mayor of Haven. And I can assure you that we clearly have no need for your services. We'll feed your horse and everything else, and otherwise, feel free to leave anytime. And he, like, his face drops as he's turning, and he turns on his heel and begins to walk away from you. Just like, don't give them attention, maybe they'll go away.
Can I do some kind of perception check?
Yeah, what would you like to do a perception check on?
I don't have insight, so I don't think I can do a check on him. Or maybe
I mean, you still, even if you don't have proficiency, you can still do an insight.
Yeah.
Could I do a check on him?
You sure?
Sick.
I get advantage on any wisdom check. So yeah, I can give him an insight check.
Okay.
7.
7 for your insight.
Yeah.
God, my dice hate me today. That's a 12 total.
Okay.
Just get it all out now.
I know. My D20s are real mad at me right now.
You haven't used it for a year, Janine. What I will say with a 7, Fred, maybe it's something you said, but he's mad. He doesn't like you. He wants you to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Velma, you can tell the same thing, but it's not because of anything you all did. Or maybe it is. It's like your presence is irking him. He is trying to be political and asking you to leave, but the second you rolled up, the mayor greeted you, not expecting you to be here. That seems weird.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could figure out who invited us, gang. Just seems strange that we got a personal invite and the mayor doesn't know.
Does it say on the flyer?
Does it say on the flyer?
Yeah, it does. It does say that
Oh.
you were invited by Jonathan Harkness.
Oh, right. Yes, you'd already said that.
Yeah, no, you're totally fine. I don't mind repeating
I
myself.
couldn't remember either, that's why.
You're all
Yeah,
good.
this
You're all good.
I'm
Jonathan
gonna
fellow.
write the name down.
Maybe we should ask around and find out who this Jonathan fellow is.
Mm-hmm. How far away is the mayor?
I mean, he's already started walking away, so maybe, 10, 15 feet.
Okay.
He's a
I'm
hefty
gonna
pace to him.
Gotcha. I'm gonna stage whisper, but she leans it over, like almost like to her own shoulder, and is like, "Scrappy, why don't you follow him and tell me if you see anything interesting?" And like scrambling from out of her like voluminous hair comes a tiny dog
Yeah.
with a little blue
Absolutely.
collar.
Yes, a tiny little knoll, to be fair.
Tiny little knoll.
Yeah. And it says its little catchphrase. It's kind of like, it's a familiar, so it's kind of like a parrot. It just goes, let me at him, and then just goes scurrying off.
I set him down, and he can communicate with me telepathically for up to 100 feet. So I want him to tell me anything that the mayor like mutters to himself or says to anyone else around them, like get rid of them or anything like that. Just like let me know what the mayor does for 100
Okay.
feet. And then maybe follow him a little further and then come back and tell me what he did, if he does anything interesting after that. But kind of, keep it low key.
And I apologize, it's not Harkness, it's Harker, Jonathan Harker, Benjamin Harker. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I'm getting Dracula in my brain, and that's where it's, yeah. Benjamin Harker was the person who invited you.
I'm putting it in the chat.
Thank you. To the point of Scrappy, he will convey to you very early that the mayor does stop and engages in conversation, kind of hushed conversation with an official looking individual. He is a heavyset man who has, I mean, Scrappy would be able to identify. He's wearing a badge on his breast. This is very clearly a militia individual, and judging by the general finery, probably the leader of the militia, who the mayor's back is turned to Scrappy as he's whispering something, and the militia individual is just nodding along. He has this big bushy mustache, and it doesn't really move after the mayor keeps on walking, but does at least identify that there is a militia individual. While Scrappy continues to follow the mayor, what would you all like to do next?
Is
Hey
the
man,
state-
he made a good point about getting out of here. We could get like 2, 10 turkey legs, whatever smells sweet over there at back of the cart, right? Fred? Right? Scooby?
So are we gonna split up and find out who this guy is?
We never
That's
go
what I
back to the
heard.
cart, Shaggy.
I mean,
Oh,
Much to
nuts.
Shaggy's point, though, there are food carts all around with like some
Oh.
pretty good smelling food.
yeah, Shaggy and Scooby, why don't you go talk to the food cart owners while you get food from them and see if they know who Benjamin Harker is? And then
Sounds
maybe
like a
we'll
good idea.
think about going back to the
Yeah.
Investigate that, I think.
Yeah.
I want to go over to where this explosion-y thing happened. Was it on the stage? Is that where we are?
It was kind of like right next to the stage. There were people
Okay.
standing in front, and you're kind of right in that area right now. So you can see that there is, I mean, an outline in the grass where a person fell and was quickly carried away. Fred at least has taken a look at the pyrotechnics and has discovered that they are pyrotechnics, somewhat magical, but hasn't determined much else from that. What would you like to look at around?
I would like to go examine the area where this happened, like the ground, any residue left, anything that might indicate where this came from or what it was.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, please.
I'm good at that. Okay, and I pulled new dice out of my bag, so hopefully these won't hate me as much. They don't. What's 15 plus 12? It's 27.
27. Okay.
I have a plus 12 to investigation, y'all.
Nice.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
With a 27, that's pretty significant information. So I'm kind of going to give you like a lot here. First of all, the thing that you notice is that the same thing that like Scooby detected. The person that fell to the ground fell, like, we're going full CSI here. The trajectory of their fall was only some way that a person could fall if they were dead. It was full ragdoll. They were dead before they hit the ground. They were carried away fast enough that like the body didn't even transfer enough warmth into the ground. Like the people that carried them away were trying to get them out as quickly as possible and had not even checked for vitals when they did so. They knew the person was dead when they carried them off. The pyrotechnics machine that you are next to has not gone off in the last 24 hours. It is still loaded to go. Whatever happened here was not from what was set up on stage. And kind of to the extra thing, what do your goggles give you? Do they give you any sort of like magical qualities?
They give me advantage on investigation or on intelligence and wisdom checks, and then they also I have dark vision, and I can see really far, and I can read the lips of any creature I can see as long as I understand their language.
Gotcha. Cool. I'm going to add one more thing just for your 27, that you can almost detect magical quality. We're not going to do like an extra roll here. Also, I'm setting the timer for 3 minutes. I've got to do a Scooby-Doo voice here, so...
good! Thank you, chat.
Yeah.
Well, Brothering, you notice. Rare's necrotic energy? Necrotic.
Necrotic?
Magical necrotic energy.
I wrote Nenergy because of this.
Right, energy.
Wonderful. Okay, magical, necrotic. All right. I think I would
Ranslaughter.
Ranslaughter.
Magical Ranslaughter.
So I'm gonna head back to the gang, and I'm being a little surreptitious, so people don't necessarily like. I think I'm not like being like, "Hello, I'm here to investigate." So I head back to the gang. I think Velma would say, "All right, so it definitely wasn't any kind of pyrotechnics. So we know that the mayor is lying to us, and the person who fell down, Scooby was right. He's definitely dead. I mean, immediately dead. Very dead. But they took him away really fast, too. And whatever it was magical and necrotic? Dafni, do you think you can piece any of that together? You're the magical one.
Well, I suppose I could try. Necrotic energy, like, she would know what that does. A lot of her stuff has, like, necrotic energy to it. Is there anything I can glean from that information to, like, add anything to it?
Well, we're gonna write her in a Arcana Rec.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Arcana Rec.
I do have a +4 to Arcana. Rarcana. WAWR.
And vowels?
It's real hard.
It's always
Real
it's
rough.
the first letter is always an R. That was a 17 Arcana check.
Yes,
Oh,
magical girl.
Mm.
17. All
She
right.
thinks about it, and as she thinks about it, the like wind blows through her hair and swirls it around, and it looks very magical.
I'll rip this review.
Just
Jesus Christ.
waving the green flag.
Oh, yes.
Why did I wrote this myself?
For charity.
For charity.
Yes,
For rarity.
For rarity.
Or re who run. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
This
Throwing out the timer on that one.
Good job.
Clock watching.
Jesus. I will say that with a 17, I will give you the spell on this. Because this might be a spell that you yourself might be familiar with, might have used in the past, or at least might have like the potential to use in the future.
Mhm.
This was a draining touch. You can kind of tell by
Mm.
like the loose arcane necrotic energy that like you can almost smell the exchange of energy. This was something where there was sort of a revitalization towards someone else, almost vampiric in nature.
I do have a spell
but-
called Life Transference.
Yes, very
So,
similar to that.
Okay.
But whereas even that is maybe like beneficial, this is almost parasitic.
Okay.
I think vampiric is probably the closest thing that would
Okay.
get to it. Although you don't see any blood.
Yeah, gosh, if I think about it, something it's kind of similar to something that I can do, but it's way worse. It's almost like something kind of like drained all the life out of it to like benefit themselves, it feels like. Does that make sense? Like a vampire, but not with blood, with
Huh.
life.
Yeah, like life energy sort of goes with the
Mhm.
necrotic thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to figure out who this Benjamin Harker is and why he
And who
wants us
Sarah-
here.
Yes, and who Sarah Brightmoon is, because they
Oh, right.
that show Misfire, which I don't think it's a show Misfire, maybe.
No, I think
Um,
he's lying.
Mm-hmm. But I think you're right, Benjamin Harker. That's our first stop.
Shaggy, Scooby, why don't you go check out the food vendors?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Derek, when I want to check the food vendor that's closest to where the apparition came from.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there is definitely a food vendor that is closer to you, much to Shaggy's point. They are selling turkey legs that are absolutely enormous.
Turkey.
Absolutely enormous.
Did
you
see anything? Jack, Maggie, you want one?
Man, the only problem is having two hands. If I only had more arms, I could hold
Just
more.
a pile of food.
I
Out
mean,
of the food wagon, this smiling woman with these rosy cheeks and kind of like this short bob of yellow hair pops out, and she goes, "Well, aren't you two just the dearest? Hi, this is my food cart. Actually, all of these are my food carts. My name's Jill. You must be new in town."
Hi, Jill. Well, we are new.
What?
We are new. Well, oh.
Honey, you don't want to talk with your
He
mouth
actually
full.
says
That's
it
rude.
in Noel.
My nose a bit rusty. Anyway, you all want some turkey legs?
Two. I'll take two, please.
Okay. Sir, your dog? Are you paying for your dog? Can he pay for himself?
I can pay for myself.
he has gold, man.
Oh.
I'll take two turkey legs too.
Well, you must be hungry young men. That is, I'm more than happy. She holds out these two turkey legs that are still like just dripping in grease, and kind of holds them out with like these napkins, two for Scooby, two for Shaggy. If y'all need anything else to eat, you just come on by to Jill's Diner and come to any of my wonderful little places to eat. And you enjoy your short stay in town.
What happened here? Huh?
It's Harvest Festival, honey. What do you mean? What happened here?
With the scary thing, what happened here?
I didn't see a scary thing. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I was in here working on turkey legs and pizza bites and pretzels.
I'll take one of the turkey legs and just like bite into it and rip all the meat off as I growl at her. I want to do an intimidation check.
Okay.
I'm gonna intimidate her for you didn't see anything. Come on. I don't believe you. Ooh, that is 16 plus 10, 26.
Oh, jeez.
26. She balks a little bit at the growl as you like rip off like everything off of this bone in one bite, and she goes, "Well, listen here, hun. I was working on elephant ears, and them's complicated. I didn't see nothing. I heard something, sure, but I thought it was just a whatever. Now you don't. No, I don't appreciate this. No, cut off. And she closes the blinds on you.
No.
No
Well,
more
I
snacks
tried.
for Scooby.
I know. Ooh.
If I didn't know you better, I'd be scared of you too, man.
Oh, nuts.
If she's not a knoll person, must be a cat person.
A tobacco.
You called me a dog.
It's all right, man. I think I saw like jelly donuts. We could suck the essence out of them
Ooh.
like it's life essence. Jelly right out.
Can I get a Constitution saving throw from Shaggy and Scooby, please?
Oh, yeah.
Got my turkey leg.
I know, right?
Oh, that's so sad.
15?
7.
Oh.
Okay.
It's all the pre-eating that we did. Maybe didn't help.
Does Shaggy have anything that helps him with poison?
Yes. Purity of body. I'm immune to
Ooh.
disease and poison.
Great. I will say that you both feel like just a little woozy for a second, and then like your constitution just takes hold, and you're both fine. Probably just overeating. I mean, you've always believed it was a myth, but Velma's warned you.
I don't know. I could still eat. Maybe in like 10 minutes.
Okay, I have a plan with bobbing for apples. Is that still nearby?
Yeah, bobbing for apples. There's plenty of townsfolk all about. There are also some folks who kind of, if we're going to talk about like named NPCs, who stand out for their physical characteristics amongst the other gray-toned NPCs who fall into the background design.
Is there an interesting one near the bobbing for apples thing?
There is, in fact, there is a very large, in the sense of muscular, like tall, bald on top, actually like no arm hair, wearing a tank top. It's cold out, and he's just kind of like standing by the bobbing for apples. He's talking to anybody who comes up and doing a lot of like very, I'm gonna say like aggressive, but not. I don't mean that he is being mean or like threatening harm, just very like in your face with a big smile as he's like pointing to people and flexing a lot, and then just like giving people space is kind of what I'm getting here.
He's emphatic. Gotcha.
He's emphatic. Thank you.
So I'm gonna saunter over to bobbing for apples.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of try to like match the enthusiasm energy and ask him like, "Oh gosh, this looks so fun. Are there prizes for the apples?" Or is the apple the prize?
Hey, I don't actually know. I'm not running this. Hi, I'm Benny. You're new in town. And I hope you don't mind me
Benny.
saying, but you have a great figure that could be even better if you were to go to Benny's Body Blasters. It's a new business I've set up in town here. Me, Benny. Hi. What's your name?
Oh.
Doesn't matter. So, are you looking to get ripped?
I actually have been thinking about maybe getting into a workout regimen. And I think I actually, Benjamin mentioned you. Benjamin's who invited us here. Do you know Benjamin
Really?
Harker? Yeah.
I do. Yeah, he's not coming to the gym. I've invited him, but
Oh, shame.
I'll get him
Shame.
one of these days. Yeah.
Well, do you know where he's at? Because I think I can maybe talk him into maybe like a 2 for session to try to get him into it. Because like once you start, then it's one of those things where, like, you feel good afterwards, and then you know that you would really like to start working out more.
Yeah, no, you hit that runner's high. Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, please.
Okay, can I do something first?
Absolutely.
She's gonna try to lean over on the like apple thing, but it's wet on the ground, and she's gonna slip, and she's gonna like halfway fall in like a short person trying to get clothing out of the bottom of the washing machine, and like come back up Little Mermaid style with like her hair back and like an apple in her mouth, and is gonna take a bite of it, and then like shake and prestidigitate herself back dry, and be like, "Oh, I'm so clumsy." That was something that I thought would be good for her damsel thing.
Yes, I will say you can do this with advantage then.
18.
Okay.
And I do have proficiency in persuasion, if that matters.
His hand goes to the back of his head, and he's definitely flexing while he's doing it. I mean, I've seen Benjamin about. He's not been to the festival today, as far as what I've seen, which is, again, I mean, I get that he's like newer in town, but if you're gonna put down roots, you're gonna put down roots. You know what I mean? He's probably at his house. I was gonna put him anywhere, but yeah, definitely. So can I get you signed up today? Would you are you looking to get your body blasted today? Now? 5 minutes? Now?
You know what? Put me down for one blast. But let me go talk to Benny first. So can you point me the direction of his house? I don't know why Daphne turned into a valley girl, but it just feels like where she went.
Daphne has something with traps, because it does say something in this character's description.
So
what is her thing with traps?
Specifically what she does, it's part of her Pact to the Damsel.
Okay.
Your patron grants you the power to escape on your own, and you have the ability to store distress points to empower your damaging spells. And basically what happens is anytime, for the purpose of this feature, a trap is anything that inflicts a sudden or unexpected effect which you consider undesirable or harmful, that was intended as such by its creator.
Okay.
So if it's intended in any way to cause distress, it has to be intended, I think.
Yes. This absolutely 100%, according to the module, counts as a trap.
Okay.
So if you would like to avoid signing up for Benny's gym membership, 100% counts as a trap. So if you would like to avoid this, you can absolutely use that feature.
Okay, so it says whenever you activate a trap, you gain a distress point. So I think I would go ahead and I would start the process of signing up, because I have to activate it to get it. And then whatever bad is going to happen is going to give me that distress point that I get to use later to blast him back, basically.
Okay. All right. Then yeah, you get signed up. You are you get your membership card, which he like pulls out this like kind of like damp from being in his back pocket. He's got butt sweat, and it's
of course
he like writes in pen, just like what's her name, and hands it to you, and he goes, "There's your membership. Anytime you would like, you are absolutely welcome at Benny's Body Blasters, which can revitalize you."
I prestidigitate the sweat off of it before I take it.
Good move. Anyway, Benjamin's house is it's over that way. It's the one with the really nice garden. And I need to figure out on this map exactly where you are. You are at 11. So he is going to point. So that's the stage. He's going to point northwest. There's a pathway that you kind of took to get into town. You would have passed Benjamin's house. It's actually one of the last stops on the outskirts of town. You would have passed it on your right when you were coming in, and maybe even noticed that it's a cozy, quiet-looking home.
Okay. I have made note of that. I'm going to head back to my friends and tell them what I found out.
Okay.
Is it just me, gang, or do the people in this town seem kind of shady about new people?
I
And
would
then I
agree
share
if I were
about
there.
What happened? Yeah.
Yeah, they seem determined that we either shouldn't be here long or that we should stay here a little too long. Well, I still think we should go talk to Benjamin.
Speaking of Benjamin, I figured out where he lives.
Awesome.
And all it
That's
cost
great.
was, and I hold up the gym membership, 1 body
Mhm.
blast. Put it back in my pocket.
Can I sense this trap?
Yeah, actually, it's been triggered. It's absolutely gone off. It's like Fred has like predator vision, like heat sense around traps, and it's just like it's like irradiated in Daphne's hand. It's glowing.
That's what the divine sense is for the paladin.
Hmm.
Okay. So it sounds like you'll want to go to Benjamin's house, yeah?
Let's go.
Onward.
So you all go to walk out of the festival grounds. There's kind of like square area. It has a couple of buildings, and again, like the stage that's being erected there. As you're walking towards where you've been pointed, you can see that there is a river that runs through town. At certain
river runs
points,
through
it's-
it?
A
Sorry.
river runs through it. There's a bridge further down to the west. There is up on a hill. You can actually see a nicer looking building, and then you pass by a couple other structures on your way to Benjamin's house. On your way out, let's see, Velma, go ahead and give me a dexterity save.
Oh boy, hold on. Let me check my sheet and see if I've got anything for this. Man. Wait, is it dexterity save?
Yeah, it's a save.
Okay. If I succeed, I take no damage because I have evasion. But I gotta succeed. Oh, that's a 19 plus
Ooh.
8. So that's like 20 something.
Dang, very good.
27,
Okay.
yeah.
27. Yeah, I can do math.
A woman kind of out of the crowd comes walking towards you and like goes walking directly towards you, like to bump into you. And as you kind of like she goes to shoulder into you and you are able to kind of duck out of the way, you hear this very mousy woman.
Is she
she's-
shouldering me or kneeing me? I am a halfling.
Yeah, you are a halfling. Yeah. Well, no, she's almost like trying to like get down at your level. She has something in her hands and she kind of shoves that at you and goes, "Oopsies," and goes running off in the other direction after she does. And you realize she's left you with a bunch of paper. It's a newspaper.
Huh. That was weird. And I pick up the newspapers off the ground and I look at them.
It
My
is
fancy glasses.
according to the paper, which go ahead and there's going to be certain things that aren't as obvious. There's a main obvious thing about this, but go ahead and give me an investigation check to the paper itself.
I am good at that. All right. That's like a 31.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa.
I rolled a 19.
Velma, you like scan the paper and pick up everything about it. The first thing you notice is that the paper quality is very cheap. The second thing you note about it is that there's a lot of misspellings on it and the typeface is weird. And you quickly put together that this is a homemade, handmade paper, as there is only one byline in the entire paper, and that is the publisher, editor, writer, all one woman named Simone. And it is the paper is called the Haven Herald. And the biggest thing that you notice besides all of that, this is today's paper. You can see, Harvest Festival. No expected newcomers in town. Like a lot of like strange article titles, but written in like red ink, scratched across the front. It says, "Leave now, trust no one."
Well, that's ominous. Hey, gang. This paper is it's very clearly a homespun operation, a local independent newspaper. And by independent, I mean one person's little side project about this town. Not very well written, definitely misspelled. It says something about the perhaps general level of public education around here, but also it has the same weird dislike of outsiders. And also it says at the top, "Leave now, trust no one."
Oh.
But I think we already
Yikes.
kind of got the vibe that we shouldn't trust anyone here, right?
That has been the vibe.
Mhm.
Golly, do you think all the misspellings could be like a secret message or like a cipher or something?
Ooh.
I'm going to say with nearly a 30, no, she's just really bad at spelling.
Yeah, I think Velma just looks at you and goes, "That's a great idea, Dafni, and it'd be really clever, except that's not what's happening here at all."
Really does talk about the education around here then, huh?
Yeah.
Trying to give
Yeah,
them way
Velma's
more
like trying
credit.
to cipher it out. She goes through all the anagrams and everything, and she's like, "Waffle puppet? What does that mean?"
Jinkies.
Jinkies, they
Waffle
can't
puppet.
spell around here. Well, at least we know we shouldn't trust anyone,
Mm.
for sure.
And if they're trying to get rid of us, that means we definitely should stay.
Oh, but hold on a minute. We can't trust anyone. We probably shouldn't even trust the paper that says "don't trust anyone."
Right, but the paper's telling us to leave. That's what we can't trust.
I'm confused.
It's like a double blind, Fred.
But
You
I'm
know
not
how-
blind.
Okay.
That's when you can't see out of both of your eyes.
It's kind of like saying it's not true.
Mhm. Or not true.
Yeah.
I'm still confused. Are we gonna go talk to the guy that invited us, or are we gonna stand here and go home?
We're
Nope,
gonna
we're
talk to
absolutely talking to him.
the...
Cool.
Perfection. I think
Lead
that's what
the
we
way,
jokingly.
Fred.
Yeah. If I can't
Oh.
remember, but I feel like we jokingly called you Oath of the Himbo last time, and I'm just like fucking loving everything about it.
Mhm.
I'm here for it. Yeah, I'll lead the way. Let's go. Confidently.
If at any point Fred starts walking the wrong direction, I'll just gently steer them in the correct direction, but not say anything. Be like, "Yes, Sir Frederick, it is exactly this way."
You're so
Got it,
good at
bud.
direction.
That's our
So
driver.
good. They're like,
How we find all our best mystery.
You're right.
like, "Fred, we're going northeast," and Fred puts up the left and right fingers. Okay. You all continue northeast to get to what has been identified as Benjamin's home, as Benjamin's house. Again, there's not a lot of other buildings kind of on this side of town. This would have been the side of town that you came in on. You can see that there is to your right as you're walking. You can see that there's Benny's Body Blasters, and as you're walking past that, Daphne, I will need a wisdom save from you, please.
Ooh, okay.
I have Aura of Protection.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I forgot that I had this.
Save me.
You gain. I give you a +2 to that roll.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
26.
That was not needed.
Yes, it was, because that's why it's a 26. Of course it was
For, like,
needed.
just a moment, you look at Benny's body blasters, like the lights are just on enough to show the workout equipment in there. It's very like medieval, rudimentary. Some of it looks probably like torture equipment. But for just a moment, the things you're carrying, which isn't much, you're a warlock. You're not wearing heavy armor or anything, but you're just like, man, I'm out of breath. Just like, do I need to work out? And then you're just like, no, no, I don't need to be. No,
No, I'm
warlock.
perfect.
Warlock's. Yeah, yes, I'm perfect. I'm Daphne, and just the hair flips.
Yeah. I feel like she like feels that, and that's when like I get the distress point, because that's the trap was being activated in that moment. And I'm gonna take the card out of my pocket and just snap and burn it with prestidigitation, like not getting blasted today.
You also would have noticed on the way in, a little bit further away from Benjamin's house, probably the first thing that you would have passed on your right coming into town, that there was a shop called A Little Slice of Haven, which definitely looked like just a touristy place. It looked like a place where you would pick up shirts like "I got into Haven and didn't even have to die" shirts, and "Live, Laugh, Love" shirts. Normal
We
stuff.
have to go look at that at some point.
Normal t-shirts.
Totally normal
t-shirts.
shirts and nothing else.
Yeah, there's a lot of big dog shirts. You know, it's one of those places.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Some people get that joke.
I literally, just quick aside, I literally
Yeah,
met a real person in real life one time who had a big dog shirt on that literally said Alpha AF, and I was like, I can't.
So good.
This is why I left Texas. This is why I left Texas.
I will absolutely
We don't
say
have
I had a Big Dog's Lord of the Rings shirt when that was a topical thing. I was that kind of kid. Yes, we did vacation in the Carolinas. Thank you.
I'm not sure we ever had big dog shirts in Massachusetts. We just had the like Cape Cod shirts everywhere.
Mhm.
It was
You're
the
too
same
far
vibe.
north.
It was the same vibe.
Salt life.
Salt life.
I mean, Black Dog. We had Black Dog shirts. That was a thing, which was like a Cape
yeah.
Cod brand.
Yeah. MR Ducks, that was a good one too. Anyway, you're approaching Benjamin's house from the outside. Very quaint, very cozy. There is a nicely tended garden, little fence. But you notice that as you get closer and closer, the garden isn't as nicely tended as you thought. The fence posts need work. Some of them are broken, some of them need painting. Even the outside of the house seems unkempt in certain parts. Vines running up and even into the board slats. There's a number of windows, all of which are not emitting any light, indicating there might not be anybody home. But yeah, it's a little roughshod as far as you can tell, kind of getting closer to it. There is a front door. It is this worn shade of red with bits of paint missing here and there, and is not open. What would you all like to do?
Can Skahooby, you said that there were vines that were going into the house?
Kind of like, yeah, it like through the slats. It's just, yeah, kind of like it's weird that he hasn't dealt with that.
So he's going to go up and cast Speak with Plants.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you see anything? Basically asking if there was anything going on.
Let's see. What voice do plants have?
I always say it depends on the type of plant.
It does
Right.
depend on the type of
Yeah,
plants.
yeah.
And this is an ivy. If I could do an Uma Thurman, I would. Trying to think if there's any like classic cartoon voices, but no, just
Betty Boop.
yeah, there we go. Nope, that's another level of money. We can do that one.
It was a really good idea and then stopped.
We've seen lots of things. We've seen you.
We're looking for Benjamin.
He's not home.
Why not?
He left. He leaves
Whoa.
often.
To go
Wish he could
where?
take care of things around here. Went into town. Seemed perturbed.
Oh.
I relay all this to the party.
Well, did the plants say when he left, Scoop?
Hmm?
Earlier. Did his weird chanting nonsense and then left.
Oh. Chanting.
Chant?
Every day.
Ruh-roh.
Hmm.
Is anybody home?
Not for quite some time.
Hmm.
We've been
Hmm.
here longer than Benjamin has. Longer than most people have.
Oh.
Keeps
Hmm.
talking about putting down roots. And personally, I find that quite ironic.
Hmm. I'd like to break into the house, please.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
it
you.
is a- Oh, you're welcome.
The plan
Uh,
said that they weren't taken care of, right?
Yeah, the garden is very untended. Like, you shouldn't let vines grow up the side of your house, really. It's bad for
Yeah.
stonework. It's really pretty on certain houses, but you gotta be careful with it. Anyway. Definitely don't let it grow up the side of your, like, wood slat house.
While they're breaking into the house, I'm going to water the garden.
Cute.
One quick sec here.
If possible, I'd like to
Uh,
break into a side door or a back door so that like nobody's on who might pass
Like
by
not
on
up
the road
front.
sees
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Weirdly enough, only one door on this house.
Oh.
Hmm.
The back side of the house is stone, very
Mhm.
old laid stone. Like this house
Mm.
has had some renovations to it,
Mhm.
but like as you're kind of like walking around, looking at the windows, looking for the other entrances and things, this is definitely an older home which has had some improvements done to it in recent years.
Mhm.
Also, real quick, I do want to say that we have been doing incredibly well on the giveaway, or I'm sorry, the fundraising for Nami. Thank you so much for all of your very charitable donating. If we
Yay!
reach $200, we will be giving away a set of the Night of Fright games on DM's Guild, Dungeon Masters Guild, as a prize. So if we hit that, we'll do a giveaway in the second half, or potentially if we hit the 200 the next game that we play, we'll do a giveaway for the two games. So if you yourself would like to play Night of Fright Part 1 and 2, you absolutely have that opportunity. That's
Okay.
information. We can go back to this.
I'm breaking into the house.
Okay. Pretty hefty door. It does have it does appear to be locked.
Mhm.
Just, trying the handle before breaking down the door is always a good thing to do.
I would
The
like to
lock
check for
is-
traps.
I
Oh
would
no,
like
I
to
don't check
check
for
for-
traps.
Ooh.
I would
Fred
like to
checks
check
for
for traps.
Okay.
I would like
Alright.
to check for traps.
Yeah, I believe it's a spell. Just tells you whether there's traps, or is there we can do an investigation check. We can do I think that's probably the best way to do that. But there also is find traps, the spell.
I don't. Do I have that?
Or did we say that he can see traps like predator vision? Isn't that what you said?
I do have find traps.
Okay.
I'll cast find traps. Yeah.
You detect traps in a general area. There's none close to you. However, there's none around the door, I should say. However, you can still detect traps that would emit poison, as well as snaring traps. And they are nearby, but they are not presently a danger to you. And I know that seems contradictory, but that's kind of what Fred picks up.
Well,
Fred gets it. He looks very excited, and he goes, "There's none on the door, but there are some coming up soon."
Okay, so I'm going to unlock this door, and then Fred, you're going to go in front of me to find the traps. Okay?
Yes.
All right. And I would like to pick the log.
Okay. It is
Sleight of
a
hand.
yes, sleight of hand. It is a high check. This is not a typical lock. The lock actually has a crescent moon shape to it. So it's not one that I think that many of you may have seen before, but it does carry a heavy DC to it.
Let's go. That's a 16.
Okay. With a 16, you feel something snap, and the lock is not undone, unfortunately.
Drat. Am I able to tell if it's magical?
I'm gonna say just not magical, but unique. You would identify that there is definitely a unique key that would be required to unlock this lock.
I would like to investigate the rest of the area around the house and the garden to see if there's any hints.
Sure.
We can still ask the plants.
Velma's doing her own thing because she can't talk to plants.
Yeah.
I wasn't fast enough, but I was getting crits for everyone. So if you want to use your crit for that, you can.
I think
I also
Velma
have
would-
knock, so
I think Velma would be like, "Well, this is a very unusual lock, gang. Can anybody think of a way to figure out what type of key it might take? That would help me pick it."
Kind of weird that.
I have a
ahead.
question. Does this, if a trap needs to be locked, would I have an extensive knowledge of how locks work? Question mark. My special interests are traps. And traps.
I'm sorry, ask that question one more time, because that was almost like a riddle.
if I'm interested in traps, does that? Yeah.
My special interest in traps.
Yes.
Because I mean, there's sometimes locks on traps,
Absolutely.
like at the end thing. So would I have a knowledge of how some locks work and what some of what particularly are needed for some of them?
You know what? We can figure that out. Let's go ahead and make that a roll. We can do that as survival. Survival often having to do with setting traps. We could do that as history, just the knowledge that you can recall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm scratching my brain to think of any others that might apply. Maybe even
Sleight
I
of
might give
hand?
investigation.
Investigation? Okay.
Sleight of hand. I can see sleight of hand too as being able to identify certain concepts.
Great,
Can-
because the other ones were zeros, and this is a
Can
plus
I-
one.
Can I
Let
roll
me fish for that.
investigation on the general outside of the house?
Please do.
I can't roll above a 6 today. That was a natural one.
Okay.
Dang.
And
Traps
I
have
rolled
locks.
a nat 20.
Okay.
Investigating the outside house plus 12, so that's a 20 or 32.
A 32.
Mm.
Okay. What I will say, so as Fred is staring at this trap unblinkingly, trying to get it to talk to him in the way the plants talk to Scooby, unable to gain any information from it, because you're just sitting there going, traps have locks. Locks aren't traps. Traps can sometimes be locks. Locks can sometimes be traps. You're like trying to make a Venn diagram in your brain. But it's just not coming to you. Yeah, you know how some locks work. There's pin and tumbler. There's a dozen different types, but this is definitely not one you've seen before. Velma, on the other hand, it's kind of tough because you're a halfling trying to look through windows, and like that's the greatest challenge presented to halflings in this world is stuff above shoulder level. So still you are able to climb up like a little bit of detritus. Just the garden is so overgrown. There's like an old bench that's long overgrown. You're able to climb on top of that and look through one of the main windows, and as you do, you see what is a pretty mundane looking sitting room. As far as things go, there's bookshelves on the wall. Looking in with, what light is available to you, you can see that a lot of just mundane selections, some knickknacks here and there. Everything seems very dusty, which is a little odd to you, considering that somebody, lives here.
And left just a little while ago, according to the plans.
Mhm.
Yeah. I will say what's odd to you is that as you're looking at the sitting room, as you're looking at the couch that's in there, the coffee table, it feels staged. With a roll that high, nothing has been moved recently. The magazine that's sitting there, the book that's sitting on the coffee table, has a layer of dust on the top of it, indicating it hasn't been opened. The couch has a layer of dust on it, indicating it hasn't been sat on in quite some time. Everything in here is meticulously placed exactly where it's meant to be, with the exception of one bit of dust that is otherwise exposed. Like where dust has been cleared off of something. And you can see the wall that is perpendicular to you, which also has some bookcases on it. There appears to be a part of the floorboard where there isn't any dust. It's a depressed part of the floorboard, which seems like it's been recently brushed clean. And you're not exactly sure why. But even the bookshelves themselves, the ones on this perpendicular wall, seem somewhat recently disturbed with the dust that's on them as well.
Well, gang, I think the whole house might be sort of a trap in a philosophical sense. There's nothing. I don't think anyone actually lives here. I know Scoob said the plants said that somebody was here a little while ago, but that can't possibly be true. There's dust on everything, except this one part of the floor that I can just see next to a bookshelf.
And gosh, don't you think it's weird that the door handle is the moon and this creepy girl woman is named Sarah Bright Moon? I guess it's a crescent, but that's still a moon.
Yeah.
And the doorknob
like-
is a circle, so it is also a moon.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fred. Well, I wonder if we can get in through a window.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the vine again.
Trust no one, not even the vines.
Not even the vines. Yes.
You were lying to me. Can you help us get in?
So the vine can also only talk for 10 seconds? How long was
No,
the vine?
It's 10
it's
minutes.
10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes, yeah.
Were vines 10 minutes, really?
Well, I mean, it talk with
Speak with
plants is
plants.
10 minutes. Speak with plants
Oh,
is 10
okay.
minutes.
Well,
Yeah.
I was referencing vine because I'll never let it go.
Oh my
Can't-
goodness.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is a
you
part where
got
I
me on
admit
that one.
I never actually watched anything on Vine. I watched Vines later on
Compilations on
YouTube.
Yeah, vine
Same.
compilations on YouTube. Yeah,
So
two
it
bros sitting in
died.
a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
They're not gay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does.
I sure
That
hope
guy-
it does.
The Road Work Ahead guy has a YouTube channel now, and he's hilarious in general.
He does. It's very good.
Love it.
Anyway, you go back to the vine. Oh, hey, you're back.
Can you help us get in?
Shabakadu. Sorry. Yes, exactly.
No. I'm a vine.
Is there a key around here?
No, Benjamin takes it with him. Everyone around here seems to keep their keys on them. They're very particular about them.
No, nuts.
And then he's gonna walk up to the door and cast knock. It's not magically sealed though, is it?
No. The front door does not say that it's magically sealed. So, the front door, the lock clicks and swings open. And
I always forget you can do that, Scoob.
Me
The
too.
dog can just open the door.
Yeah, seems
This
like
how
an
you keep
odd
getting
spell
into
for me
the-
to have. Yeah.
Is this how you keep getting into the Scooby snacks all the time?
Oh my
Like
god, now it makes
werewolf.
absolute
Yeah.
sense. we started locking the cabinet because Scoob was eating all of the snacks, and then Scoob was like,
He learned to knock by sheer force of will.
"Yeah,
Once per day.
Just stand before me.
It's really my dog in real life versus my dog-proof trash can. Because I have a golden
Yes.
retriever. He can't leave it.
oh my
But then
god."
you can teach himself knock. Yeah.
I feel like Scooby is not a bard in the typical sense. He's more of a magician. That's his performance type. He's not
Yeah.
a singer. He's not a dancer. He's a magician. And Nock would be very good for an
Yes.
illusionist.
Yeah, it explains all of like the costumes that he has in the show, and
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
Yes. Oh my god.
Unending charisma.
As you all go to, as you look into the void that is the dark house of Benjamin Harker, cold blast of air comes out at you, and the smell of dust and just like the absence of life. Like, this doesn't have the smell of the festival with apples and cinnamon. It's not warm. It's not lively. There's definitely there's a lack of humanity to this home. That's where we're going to go ahead and take our break. So we'll be back in about 10 to 15. Please take
Yay.
care of yourselves in the meantime. Enjoy our ad reel. And please, if you're willing and able and have some extra cash sitting around, Nami is a great place to put it if you're looking to get a tax break and also feel good about where you put your money and donate and all that. Stick around. We'll be back. Zoinks, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to Night of Fright Part 2. I'm Derek Sword. I'm your GM for this game. I am joined again by these very lovely individuals who are reprising their roles as Mystery LLC. And a mystery they have indeed found as a strange invitation to a harvest fest in the far-off town of Haven provided them very quickly with a mysterious event, witchly ghost identifying herself as Sarah Brightmoon identified that everyone here was their life was at risk, with one person, according to the investigations of our gang here, already losing their lives. So you have tracked down the name of your invitee, your inviter, however that works, the person who invited you. You've tracked down his home, a place which doesn't seem to have the most outward care that you would expect. Nevertheless, you have used knock to open his front door and are now looking in at the otherwise darkened home. What would you all like to do?
Can I, now seeing the space,
Mhm.
reverse math where I felt the traps were?
No.
Okay, great. Just checking.
Yeah. You're not picking up on any traps in here. You like your danger sense, whatever it happens to be. I think Sir Frederick would feel confident just walking right through the front door.
Stick.
Well, Fred, I think you should go first.
Yeah. Fred will confidently walk into the space.
Okay. You do so, and you walk in to a small, like, foyer area. You can see that there are a couple of coats that are hung up just on a rack that's attached to the wall. Let's get to his home. There we go. Otherwise, you can see a small kitchen area. There is a designated kitchen, a small dining room attached to it. If you were to go further down the hallway, there's a room that you would probably identify as the bedroom, and then the sitting room that Velma had seen from the outside.
If we're all going inside, I want to go investigate that floorboard.
Okay. Fred has stepped inside. Let's see. Shaggy, I will need a wisdom saving throw from you, please.
Add points to that. Add 2.
What? That's a nat 20, actually.
Very nice. Shaggy, as a hand goes to grab your shoulder as Fred has taken the first steps into the door. You hear a voice behind you, and without jumping, perhaps for maybe the first time in your life, very impressive on your part, you hear a man's voice say, "Can I help you all?"
I'm standing
Fred-
there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please. I see Fred waving. So Fred, you would turn around and see another well-dressed gentleman who is he has kind of like he has the kind of hair which makes you think that he probably like licks his palms a lot and like slicks it back that way. Like he's well put together as far as things go, but has like an old money kind of vibe to him. Some, just small glasses on his face. Otherwise, just standard middle-aged guy. Little Van Dyke for facial hair.
Oh,
please, Katie.
sorry. I'm going to put down the watering can and gesture at the plant that Scooby was talking to and said, I had to do it for the vine.
Yes, I do feel I've been somewhat negligent of my garden. I've never been one for having a green thumb. I suppose I should ask the local gardening aficionado, but I have not yet had a proper conversation with her just yet. Nevertheless, why are you all entering my home?
Oh, you invited us. And I'm going to pull probably out of like Velma's pocket the pamphlet and hold it up with their name on it.
Oh, y'all are Mystery LLC. Absolutely, I did indeed invite you. I don't understand how you got into my home when it was locked, but that is neither here nor there, it seems. As yes, you are more than welcome. Please come in. I will happily make you all some tea. Yes, I am in fact Benjamin Harker. It is quite
Insight check.
Yep. Please.
I'm in fact Benjamin Harker. Insight check. I love that.
I don't believe you.
Oh.
And I get to roll with advantage because of my fancy spectacles. And they're both ones.
Okay.
That's not a joke. They are both ones.
What kind of a halfling are you?
I know.
What kind of a halfling?
Oh, wait. Oh, you're right.
It wasn't an insult. It was a legit question.
When I roll a 1, I
He's
can
like, yeah, I
reroll the
know.
die.
What kind of a halfling am I?
Do I reroll both of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I rolled both of them.
That was an excellent hint.
I rolled both 7s. This is scary. What just happened?
Oh, wow.
Okay, but that's a wisdom, and I have... Where's my wisdom? I have +2, so that's 9.
This is tough. So you're trying to identify a person that you've never met. But we'll say that he sees a bit of scrutiny on your halfling face as he's kind of like scanning across all of you, and he has this smile of like, I don't appreciate that you broke into my house, but that's okay because I called you here in the first place kind of attitude. But then he gets to Velma, who's just like the epitome of just like, I don't trust you. He goes, a little later I'll show you. There's no obfuscation or any type of legitimacy on my part. In fact, here is my card. And if anything, you can see that my signature, which I leave on both the invitation I sent to you as well as the card itself, would happen to match.
Well, that's all well and good, but that doesn't explain why your house looks like no one's lived here in a very long time.
Well, that is because no one has lived here in a very long time. I am a new resident and have not had enough time yet to
sit on your
properly...
couch?
I'm often in town seeing to business affairs. I don't style myself a couch potato. However, yes, you are absolutely right. There's quite a lot of tending that this house needs. I've tried to start from the inside out, but I am but one man. And I'm just trying to make a home in this cozy, quaint little town of Haven. Nevertheless, I have identified a certain threat to this town, which is why I have invited you all, and I apologize for the disingenuous nature of my invitation, because I do believe that this town is a threat, and I do believe that you all can be the ones to bring us back to the light as things were.
But how would you know what the town was if you're still new here?
The reason I moved here, young Sir Frederick, is because I had heard nothing but good things, that everyone here was close-knit, that everyone here trusted in each other, that it was a good place to just settle down and put down roots. However, unfortunately, I came to discover that everyone here is closely knit in a sort of conspiracy, I believe. And it is my belief that people tend to go missing around here, and my deepest fear is that I am next when it comes to those who would go missing.
I would like to attempt to okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at Dafni and I'm gonna say very quietly, hopefully so this man can't hear, or mouth like, hover for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna try and hide behind Sir Frederick so this guy can't see me, and then sneak over to his bookshelf and see what the hell's up.
Give me a stealth roll.
Yeah, I will absolutely just kind of like step in and start like, I'll probably like hair flip and start to engage him in conversation. And when I go to walk up the stairs, I'll trip. But like she didn't actually mean to trip. She just always fucking does this, you know? And like goes to catch
Always
herself.
does this.
And like you know, she goes to catch herself and probably ends up like leaning on him on accident, and she's actually not flirting with him. This is just the kind of thing that always happens with her. She's like, I'm so sorry. And like another hair flip, and is like, well, let's go ahead and use that couch, all of us, not just the two of us.
I don't get an advantage on stealth rolls, but let's see how this goes.
But I think if I give you the help action by giving a distraction,
Yes.
that's what I was hoping
Yes,
for.
wonderful.
That is true. You'll have advantage on that.
I was covering for you for that reason.
And I rolled a nat 20.
Very nice.
Hey!
That's a
nice.
28 with my +8.
It's always
Okay.
the hair flip, I'm telling you. It's a good I'm kidding.
Yes, you go to sneak into the house, and he continues talking to you. So we'll basically break this into two parts here, because this is almost like not bullet time. This is almost like we're in initiative, sort of, before he realizes that you're gone. Anywho, I was hoping that we all could step inside. I could make you all some tea, and we could chat privately about the events here, because my deepest fear is that, well, again, that I'm next.
Yeah, they don't seem to like newcomers around here.
They wouldn't, unless they were looking to utilize them for darker purposes. Again, I believe I've been gathering evidence, but it is only enough for me to move forward on, and not enough for me to go to any of the authorities, let alone my suspicion that the authorities around here are in on it.
Sort of stride in and see if everybody else strides in as well.
Okay. So while that was happening, Velma, you go into the room, into the sitting room where you saw before, and you can absolutely see that there is that depression that doesn't have dust on it, the bookshelf before you, which seems
all
to
of the floor has dust on it, and how can he walk around his house without disturbing the dust on the floor?
Yeah, absolutely. So to that point, you can see that they're like, not all of the house is dusty. The sitting room is very dusty, and you can see like he's walked around a little bit.
Okay.
Like it's not totally unlived in. I don't mean to give that impression. He definitely like lives here. You can definitely see that he's moved down the house, but it does seem like the sitting room doesn't get as much use as you would think. And maybe you hold up his excuse. Maybe you don't. That he's not much one for sitting down and resting. Nevertheless,
almost
give
just
me an
paranoid.
investigation check. Yeah, well, hey, that's good reason to be.
All right, let's see. Investigation check. 13 plus 12 is 25.
25. Okay. You can tell that there is some sort of archaic switch that's involved with the floorboard, and as you're looking about eye height for you, you would also notice a very similar, almost identical, really, crescent-shaped depression hole in the side of the bookshelf.
Filing that away in my brain for later because I think everyone's walking into the room now and I have to pretend I was with them and not in here.
Also, with that 25, Vilma, you notice that there is a mechanism to this. It is not simply opening the door. It is not simply having the key in the depression. There is a trap involved as well. You're not exactly sure what kind, but there is a booby trap involved to this.
Noted.
Yes, the rest of you walk in as Benjamin says, please, I apologize for the dust. Again, the room has not seen much use. There's not many in town. I would gladly invite over, and not many tend to come this way, this far out of the way. But let me get some tea started for y'all, and
I'll
I'm
take care of
happy-
the dust. And she prestidigitations the place clean.
Oh, well, that's a mighty fine trick. I should learn that one.
I've been here the
yeah,
whole time.
Of course you have.
Game Changers logo flashes in the
Yes.
background.
Yes, for a second, Velma looks just like Sam Reich. He goes into the kitchen. He starts filling a kettle and begins heating it on a stove. Anyways, I was hoping that, again, you all could be allies of mine as we seek to undo the darkness in this town. And I am at your service should you have any questions or any issues. I apologize that I heard that y'all were in town, and that's why I left home in the first place. I went in search of y'all, and we must have been ships passing in the night.
What's the darkness in this town?
He gets kind of like a grim look on his face. Well, the story is that many years ago, long before I believe any of y'all were born, kicking around and whatnot, there was a lady in this town who did some pretty dark magic, and her dark magics they hurt a lot of people, and this lady's name was Sarah Brightman. She just, she wanted what a lot of people want. She wanted to live forever. And she had, as the youngsters are saying these days, she had a lot of riz. And she got a whole bunch of people to do a whole bunch of them bad things. She took a whole lot of people with her, but in the end, it was good folk that stopped her. Stopped a ritual. She was trying to become one of those, what's the word for them? Liches. She's trying to become a type of undead to fend off death for as long as she could. But her ritual was not successful. People were able to stop it. People were able to stop the followers that she had. But I feel that the cult, the ritual was not totally unsuccessful. That she did remain in a way as not a lich, but a lich's ghost, and that Sarah Brightmoon has been haunting this town ever since. That her power remains, and that her followers were not all dispersed to the wind either, but settled here in service to her to continue.
When he tells that story, does it sound reminiscent of the things that we experienced about a year ago at all?
Maybe a little bit. I believe there was a level of undead. I'm trying to remember the exact plot of that story.
There were undead, and we disturbed a ritual.
Absolutely.
Was literally something that we did.
Yeah, I mean, this is D&D world, like dark rituals
that could happen all the
become
time.
undead. Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's like, oh, it's
Okay.
Tuesday. So yeah, I don't think it's an unheard of thing. A lich's ghost, I think, may be a thing that none of you have heard of before, because typically there's liches, there's demi liches, there's ghosts, but a lich's ghost is kind of like that's two things that are kind of almost contradictory to one another.
To say it's almost like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Two different types of undead.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try and
So-
get Fred's attention surreptitiously? I'm still standing next to this bookcase.
Yeah, maybe almost bloodhound like Fred, like those traps that you detect. You're just like,
I try and get catch your eye, and I'm to the side of the bookcase.
I smell surreptition.
As you do, Fred starts just doing the the sneaky walk.
Yes.
would you like to roll stealth
Yeah,
in a sitting room that everybody's in
yeah,
in heavy armor?
yeah.
Can I
I
be a
love this
distraction
game.
again?
Sure.
I think I'll start asking him if any of the things that he is thinking of sound like somebody's life being stolen away to bolster something else, and talk about the thing that we saw to try to really distract his attention back to me from Fred.
So does that
Yes,
stop me from rolling disadvantage?
It will give you a flat roll.
Great. 16.
Ooh,
I rolled a 15 plus
that's
1.
good.
Yay!
That's good.
That is really good for.
Velma
for
looks
Fred.
proud of you.
Let me
The rogue,
let me contest your roll before we celebrate. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
How much perception can this weird old man have?
How much perception can this weird old man have? If only he had a stat block. Let's see.
Surely it's like attention, and I only have so much I can pay before I'm broke, right?
Okay, so that is a 17. So
Damn.
as Fred, you are sneaking very carefully, very quietly. He looks up from his story as Dafni is distracted. He's like, "Yes, that's Bright Moon right there. It sounds like this harvest festival is something. Can I help you, son?"
I didn't want to break your floorboards.
I don't think that's an issue. But you're welcome to take your salays off if that is a concern of yours.
You said a word that I do not know.
Your armored boots, son. They're salays.
The boots. Were we supposed to take our shoes off when we came in?
Well, you're wearing heavy armor,
Uh-huh.
and that's. I mean, donning and doffing alone is enough of a process. I'm not going to be like a shoe guy about it. But yeah, you're welcome to if you're worried about the floorboards.
So I can walk freely and I won't break anything. I'm also I'm a tall dude. I want to make sure I'm respecting someone's space, so I try to move slowly and quietly as possible when I'm in a space that I do not know.
Okay. I don't. The house is fine. I mean, we did get it inspected, and you're not gonna break nothing. I don't
Okay,
think.
cool. Cool.
If
So
you
I'll
break
just.
anything, it's fine. I'll tell you what. You break anything, it's fine.
Okay, cool. I'll keep walking.
Where?
Can I pace? I don't pay attention well sometimes, so I have to pace the room
Give me
to
a
understand
persuasion
what's going.
check, you monster.
Can I help him by being like, yes, Fred does have a lot of attention, difficulties sometimes.
I will say, if you do draw attention to yourself, he will also notice that you are close to the bookshelf.
I've been here the whole time.
You have, but you have had a high stealth roll that he hasn't noticed.
Ah,
And
shit.
you're like,
Never
yeah.
mind. Sorry, Fred.
That is an 18 plus 2 for a dirty 20.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, Brad.
feel free to pace. I believe that board there's a bit creaky, so maybe avoid that one.
So see, this is why I have to be careful when I'm walking.
Yep, we all do. All right. I'm so glad I invited you all.
Turkey leg?
And yeah. Scooby offers the extra turkey leg that he had.
Brings it out of hammer space.
Yeah.
Is that from
Change.
Jill?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would not eat anything procured by Miss Jill if the Lord God Tom himself handed it to me.
Scoob locks eyes with Shaggy. Like, oh.
I've been having crazy acid reflux now that you mention it.
That is
There's
my
a
GERD kicking
town
up.
council of Haven, and I can tell you right now, I would not trust ding dang one of them. I know some of them are up to less good than others, but I believe everybody on the town council is in the know when it comes to support.
So would you
of
say you
Zebra.
agree with the sentiment of leave now, trust no one?
No, in fact, I would say half of that. Trust no one. That's tough to say because I do hope that you trust me. Nevertheless, trust no one is a good way to move forward, and I would say that leave now. I would hope that you stay and offer some aid to this town, which is sinking into a cesspool of lichdom and necroticness. Necrotosity.
That is exactly
I
what
think you
somebody with
just
that
made
accent
that
would
word
say.
up.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it was a perfectly cromulent word.
Thank you, Katie. That's very good.
Sorry, it was a layered bit. Thank you. Thank you.
No, that's good. It's hey, I appreciate a Simpsons reference whenever.
And a Simpsons reference for making up a word that someone can surmise its meaning purely from context clues,
Yes.
which is what you did. So, not. To, I hear it's funnier if you explain the joke.
Yes, truly, we are all embiggened. Here.
So, if I may ask, why do you want to save the place instead of just leaving to save your own skin?
Well, I bought this house. I bought this house because I discovered that I had family that lived here quite some time, long ago. Family that some of whom fell victim to Sal Bravo, and some money had come into my name, and so I decided that I would take history by the horns. I would reclaim this homestead, which long ago belonged to relatives of mine, and I would stand tall. And little did I know that it would be easier said than done. I had expected this town to be rid itself of its nasty history and not soiled in it, as it seems to be.
Well, that seems like a decent motivation. And she looks around at the group
Agreed. Good motivation. Good.
Velma looks entirely unimpressed.
as well you should be.
You, Vilma, I believe. You look entirely unimpressed. Oh, is there something I have said or done to upset or disturb you?
No.
Alrighty.
Do you want to see if he's wearing a mask? That could help.
That might, it's always worth a try. Velma's just hoping someone distracts him so she can look at the trap some more with Fred.
He brings over a cup to you, Velma. I really hope that we can get off on a better foot now, considering you all did a little breaking and entering, and I would like to...
It was an abandoned house.
Also, you might have been in trouble on account of the person that died right in front of us out there, and you're the one who invited us here, and the mayor said he didn't want us here, so...
That's a fairer point than every time you leave your house it's technically abandoned, because I hate that concept. I don't like
there
that
are some
as a law.
there are some halflings who do subscribe to that type of philosophy.
Yes, they're absolutely... Yes. Yes, the Boggins are terribly
Nobilia Sackford Baggins. Sorry.
I just, do you know anything about, you're talking about Sarah Brightmoon. What would have been perhaps her family crest or motif?
Well, in fact, you've kind of identified a a bit of a poignant part about this town, it would be the moon symbol, as you likely identified when you unlocked my front door. All the doors around here still historically bear the bright moon crest in subtle ways. All the keys to every door around here are slight variations on the crescent moon shape. And he pulls out his own key, very much similar to this one.
What about this?
Yes.
Are you pointing at the?
I'm pointing at
the
moon.
hole in the door? Yes, you'll find those carved here and there as well.
Are they
Followers of
typically
hers.
also carved onto traps?
They could be, I suppose.
Fred,
Yes.
please look at this. You don't have to sneak this time.
Traps?
Mm-hmm.
Can I look at the trap?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check, Fred.
Velma's very over this man.
13.
Okay. You do not see the trap. Velma's like pointing right at it. You're not making the connection on it.
It is
You can
wild
roll
that I don't
advantage
get a
because
bonus for traps. That is the
Yeah.
most wildest thing that I do not have on this stat sheet.
You absolutely may
Yeah.
roll with advantage since Velma is pointing it out. So if you want to get
Yeah.
one more roll. But it is a high roll to notice the trap in the first place.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it's a DC 25.
Cool.
Like, Velma
Why couldn't you even
just
get
hit it.
there?
Fred! Oh, there's a trap here. This is trapped. This little moon. This is a trap.
This is some good wood.
Yes, it is.
Joke in there somewhere. I mean, did you do that, or do you think that they did that because you're in the house and they might not like you because you're trying to figure out what's going on?
And this area of the room did seem particularly undusty, like you've been looking around here.
I have been looking at some of the books that have been left here, absolutely. I was unaware that that bookshelf was not what it seemed to be. I think you'll find crescents in many of the places around town, little symbols and identifiers of the followers of Sarah Brightmoon, who have long since passed, or maybe even some of the more recent ones. But a lot of the buildings, this one included, stood when Sarah Brightmoon was alive. I can only assume that followers of hers left little mementos.
Like traps.
Yes, Sarah Brightmoon was not one to be trifled with. If you can disarm it, it would be very much appreciated.
I don't know if I'm good at that.
Can I give you advantage? I can't see it. I can't do anything to help. I'm kidding.
Best I can do is roll you a sleight of hand.
Fred's just like pat on the back.
Got this. You gotta look for this one little spring. I don't know if this is spring operated. This might be magic
Yeah.
operated. And
I'll
down on
actually
my
give
Thursday.
you a bardic inspiration.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
How much do I
Go
add with
who
bardic
be snacks?
inspiration?
It's I believe a D. Hold on, let me.
Depends on your level. I think
Yeah.
it's a D8.
8 for 10.
Yeah.
You know why? I've set off a trap or two on a way to a sandwich, and I always
D10?
see
A
make it
D10.
out as an option.
All right. So it's a D8 or a D10?
D10.
Oh, geez. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's roll it up. Well, 8. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty
I
20.
give
Oh, so there
Shaggy
you
a
go.
snack from my purse.
Some of the DC was 23.
Damn.
Ooh.
So as you step forward to try to step onto the floorboard panel that you've noticed doesn't have a lot of dust on it, you hear a clicking, and as you are trying to work with the cogs and gears of the trap, not knowing exactly what it is going to do, you feel a sharp pain grip around your foot as parts of the floorboard have split open and a bear trap has caught you around the leg.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is where we split from Scooby-Doo a little bit. So you are
Jinkies,
going
it's a bear trap.
Let's see. So Actually, I'm sorry. It says it closes on your hand as you're activating the switch. So you're going to take 2d10 piercing damage,
Owie, owie.
which you all are level 10 now. So at
Mhm.
least that's not.
It's not lethal.
Yeah, it's not a first level character ending, but that is 17 points of piercing damage to you.
Yowie.
And you are currently restrained by that. So
I would like to
it is still
immediately.
piercing.
I would like to immediately look at Mr. Harker and see what his facial expression is.
He looks shocked.
Okay.
Oh my! I'm not even going to ask you. Okay, that looks really nasty. Fred, are you strong enough to pull that off of her?
Already on it. Am I? I think I'm strong enough. I should be strong enough.
Give me an athletics check.
Now I have a question.
Yeah. I love the player's handbook. Just like.
Like it's your emotional support book.
It has
well, no,
every
because
answer you could ever want.
Yes.
Except for when it doesn't.
Except for
well, I
only-
think
only
well, this is
answers
this,
actually-
this is specific traps. I get advantage on. So Martial Trapper, you have a complete understanding of the best way to restrain your enemy. Would I also know how to unrestrain my enemy?
Mm.
I love the reverse.
Or
logic of it.
unrestrain your friend.
Mm.
Or unrestrain my friend?
I'm going to say that this is literally like it's a bear trap. There's not a lot to it besides just pure brawn at this point. You need to pull the bear trap apart. It is muscle. It's brawn over brain right now. So
Heard.
it is pure athletics. DC 15.
My dice really hate me. That was a natural 1.
Okay.
Ow, 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 ow!
Yeah,
so
actually,
sorry.
Velma, you do take another 14 points of piercing damage as Fred tries to separate the bear trap and it snaps back on your hand.
If I die in a bear trap, y'all.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna give you 15 points of lay on hands. Whew. I don't want to.
Jinkies, but louder.
That's almost F word. Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna say it starts off with jinkies and then there's a beep afterwards.
Did you give me 15 HP back?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm at 40.
Scooby, Shaggy, are you too strong enough? Literally anybody. I thought that the buff boy in armor was going to do it, but he also didn't know what a salé was, so here we are.
I feel like those are completely different skill sets, you know, being able to lift a lot of things and being able to know where.
I'm just stressed. I'm sorry I'm lashing out.
It's okay. That could have been you. That's really stressful.
Could we do like a conga
Or
line,
could
but
it
of like
have been
pulling
him?
together,
Yeah.
like they
We
would
can
in the
help
cartoon?
action.
I have
Yeah.
+9 to my athletics.
Oh
There we go.
I got bean arms over here. You got this.
Also, I meant a salary or a sabaton. A salé is a helmet, so that is I'm a GM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
Don't you listen to Sabaton, boy?
But I'm the problem because I don't know what that is. So that is a 21.
Okay, that is significant. Sabaton, by the way, is history nerd heavy metal. It's great. Every one of their songs just tells the story of like a medieval battle or like World War II battle, but it's in heavy metal and it's great. It's like it's like Hamilton, but for white pasty kids. So yes, Scoob, you go over, dig your knoll claws in to like the teeth of the bear trap, and are able to pull it all the way open to where it clicks back into its open position, and Velma, you do not take any more damage from that. You also watch as the symbol where the key was actually disappears on the bookshelf.
Oh.
What was this trying to protect, I wonder?
I wonder as well. Are you okay? I'm going to ask that now.
I will be fine.
All right. I tell you what. I feel that there is some investigating that needs done in town. While you are there, I will see if I can figure out what is behind this bookshelf. And should you need anything in the meantime, please do not hesitate to reach out. I will try to make myself as available as possible. But my best recommendation is to start with the town council as far as your investigation goes. I at least heard from some of the other residents that you have met our lovely mayor, Mayor Coney. And it sounds like, well, it smells like from the turkey legs that you met Jill of Jill's Diner, a fellow member of the council. If you haven't met him yet, I'd advise avoiding him. I don't think he's actually that harmful. He's just really creepy. But Dr. Knight is our local dentist. We also have Casey, who runs our florist shop. She's the one I need to talk to about the garden. There is the ever ineffective Constable Frost. We also
Are these all members of the town council?
There are 8 members of the town council. There is also Miss Karen. She lives up to her name. She will tell you everything that you ever didn't want to know. And if you have not met her husband yet, it's hard to miss through the oiled muscles. His name is Benny. He operates the establishment across the road there.
Oh, we met him. At least I did.
I'm very sorry.
I think I'm missing someone.
I'm sorry. Please, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
I was saying I think I'm missing someone because I only had 7, and as you said, last but not least.
Last but not least, there is Simone, who is our local newspaper journalist, writer. At least she colors herself as such.
So, leave now, trust no one.
Is she like bad at
Don't-
spelling, man?
Yes, incredibly so. I have never solved a single crossword here, and I believe that is because she misspells all of the answers.
Leave now, trust no one. Perhaps don't leave, trust someone?
That's
You know,
my advice.
I don't think Scooby and I should go talk to the diner lady again. Wasn't a good conversation. She's not an old person.
I just want to check in. Jenine, you doing okay?
Yeah, because Fred
Okay.
would be in the corner because so many words are being said that he's very confused.
Okay.
Good.
Just checking in to see what's character and what's not. So,
No, that was character, straight up
Okay.
character.
You're great. You're doing great.
I think Velma would pull out the newspaper and point to the red writing on it and say, "Do you recognize this handwriting?"
I mean, a little bit. It looks frantic, but probably Simone's. She did spell leave with 2 E's. So,
So we
yeah.
So don't leave. Trust someone. Okay. Because we shouldn't trust Simone because she's on this council.
It seems like she's given you a warning. However, I don't necessarily agree with the full warning. It seems like she wants you out of here, and I strongly advise
Interesting.
against it.
Interesting.
So there's also the Hexblade?
Hexblade
Hexblade?
girls? Yes.
The
they're
Hexblade girls, they were invited into town. Are they also in danger?
I believe so. I believe that they are a part of whatever's going to happen. I don't believe. Well, I don't exactly know if they know what they're in for. But I do like their music. They've got some real hits. Eldritch Blast, everybody loves it.
Don't they just? She like does a little magic in her hand, like holds an Eldritch Blast, and then like really like not sends it anywhere, but like dismisses it.
Pact of the Chain, it's a great one. A great old one, you might say.
I like you.
Thank you. I like all you youngsters as well.
I'm becoming tolerant of you.
I appreciate that.
You know, I was a little worried at first. You only invited us here, so there'd be 5 newer people than you. But you're growing on me. You have good tea. Physically
You
and verbally. Both.
Yes. No, the
Good
double
point.
entendre was not missed, Mr. Shaggy. Absolutely.
All right, well, I don't think we're gonna get anything out of Benny. Just meat all the way through. She like taps on her head. We've already tried Jill. Who next?
Should we go
And
to
I'm
the
so
one
sorry. Please go ahead, Julie.
Should we go to the one that told us to leave?
Sorry,
Okay.
Simone?
That one.
And Dafni, I didn't want to miss out. You did get a full report from at this point a full report from Scrappy. The mayor ended up going to the florist shop, I believe owned by Casey, and then looked through the windows, saw that he was provided with some seeds. A seed packet was handed over, but Scrappy couldn't necessarily tell what they were talking about, and then followed the mayor to town hall, and the mayor locked the door to town hall from there. Scrappy was able to follow from that point on.
She closed her eyes for a moment and she's telling him, "Good job, Scrappy. You can come back now."
Let me at him.
We leave Scrappy here in case this guy needs us or finds something.
Oh, I like that plan.
He'll only be able to tell me if we're really close by. That's the only problem.
How far's the newspaper? We just got it on the walk over.
True. We're looking at Benjamin at this point. How far away is Simone's establishment?
So Simone is a small operation. She prints the paper out of her own home, and her home is located. Let's see. That'd be southeast of here, across the river. So you'd have to go into the town proper, cross the bridge, unless you were looking to take a little bit of a swim or a surprisingly far jump. But her house is the one right next to the sawmill. So if we are looking on the map, her house is this kind of V-shaped one. Right there, that is Simone's home, as well as the Haven Herald.
Surely
Yeah,
the map's
unfortunately, the
not
map
true
is
to
not-
size.
No,
Okay.
the map is not true to size. I did not scale the map. So as far as things go, I mean, we can say we're not going to be judging distance as far as I don't think there's going to be combats that are going to span the entire town. You'll be able to reach the town or the one end of the town to the other in 20 minutes tops.
Mm-hmm.
Would Simone's house be more than 100 feet away from Benjamin's?
Yes, I would say definitely more than 100 feet.
I could
Right.
definitely leave him here. He just won't be able to tell me immediately
Mm-hmm.
if there's trouble.
But he would be able to observe and report on Benjamin's investigation of this bookshelf.
That's true. All right, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll be back any moment.
And yeah, you get into your familiar sense, and you just see something moving way too fast through the tall grass, that horror movie POV of just there's foam coming out the sides.
Oh no!
Have you ever seen when people put GoPros on cats?
Yeah.
I imagine it's like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You hear a thump at the window, and then another thump at the door, and then the door slowly creaks open, and Scrappy's just standing there.
Good job, little one. Scoop him up and put him in my
Aw.
hair.
He scares me. I say this to Fred.
He's just a little guy.
Uh-huh.
Little
It's
ears
peeking out of
scritches.
Daphne's hair, just two night shine eyes that are glinting softly.
Oh, no.
Whoops, not that. So I've identified Simone's there, We have Benjamin's house. We have Benny's body blasters. We have the windmill, which is this building that's kind of on top of the hill there. Kind of looks down at everything else. And then the festival grounds, which here. So that square area towards the south there is where the festival grounds are. And those are the places you have so far checked out. Where is the next location you would like to go to? Is that Simone's?
I think Simone's is a good a spot as any.
Okie doke. All right, let's change that music here. Let's do this one. Okay. You all leave Benjamin's house and step back out onto the road of the town of Haven. Again, you can see that Benjamin's house almost like shares a property line with whatever that knick-knack shop was that you passed by on the way into town. But you can otherwise see the road that your carriage not long ago took to get to the festival grounds, Benny's body blasters, straight ahead. And following the road, you can see that there are definitely some townsfolk out and about. Nobody's walking by themselves, is I think the one thing that you all might pick up on. And everybody is side-eyeing you. There's a lot of, like, every time you passed by two people or a group of people, there's a lot of hushed whispers about you don't know what. But they always start after you have just passed. Continuing on past the fairgrounds, you get to the bridge area, and this small building just before the bridge, which you note a sign says Epping Florist. And Dafni, absolutely, you would recognize what you saw from Scrappy's point of view, where you see these wide open windows with this soft light coming out, all of these plants, otherwise obscuring a lot of the inside, but you see a lot of greenery, even around the building itself, all of this very lush greenery out and about. Crossing over the bridge, the building on the right is something. The building on the right has a massive tooth, like, carved from wood, you hope, hanging from a sign, and it is identified as Dr. Knight's office. I have to ask, Shaggy, Scooby, are you guys still carrying around your turkey legs?
I after Benjamin had said that Joe can't be trusted, he would have just left it.
Oh, I
Left it
figured
on
I
the
ate
table for him.
mine within like 45 seconds.
Okay,
They were
for
just
sure,
gone.
Yeah. Nevertheless, you see a small hunched man with kind of this black hair and this kind of like scraggly, very like pencil mustache. He has these like almost pale eyes to where you almost can't see the iris, which makes like the black of his eye just like even almost like pinpointed as he looks to all of you, and he has a fistful of toothbrushes as he comes running and goes, "Oh, you all are new in town, yes? Make sure that you are taking care of your teeth. Take a brush, everyone. There, I have colors. I have, green, and you, purple lady, you are purple. I don't have dog toothbrush. And he's just kind of like putting toothbrushes like in your face, like he's almost trying to like put them in your mouth as he's stepping up to you. I am Dr. Knight. If you have any sort of dental needs while you are here, please come to my dentistry. I will take very good care of your teeth and the rest of you."
No, thank you. And Velma keeps walking.
I already have a toothbrush. Was this one of the people that he mentioned?
This is
Dr.
one
Knight?
of the town council members, absolutely.
You know what I don't have, though? I do have a toothbrush, but I don't have a summer home. And I heard that you're on the
Okay.
council of this place, and I was just wondering, like, what you could tell me about it. I thought maybe this might be a nice place to move.
It's not, but you can have a toothbrush. You should leave as soon as possible. Brush your teeth and leave. That's the 4 out of 5 dentists recommend.
Who's the fifth one?
Some jerk.
I'm gonna start keeping track of which council members want us to leave. The
Yeah.
mayor.
Why
You
shouldn't
guys
we
not
stay?
taking free toothbrush? Can I have all of them?
Sure.
He's just like idly handling.
put them in
handing
your mouth,
toothbrushes
Shaggy.
To Shaggy while he's talking to the rest of you. Like he's just like his pockets are just stuffed with toothbrushes. Yes, absolutely. Brushing your teeth is an important part of care. They are the only bones that should be naturally exposed to air.
Do you
Did you know
have
that
anything
bones are
for
so-
tusks? Do you use the same brush for the tusks, or is it
You
wait,
do,
how-
but tusk paste is also important. And he pulls out like Grim Nash's customary tooth or tusk paste. It's for the food.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Can I Arcana
Our-
check these things to see
For
if
sure.
there's any magic on them?
Absolutely.
Are his teeth like really nice as he's handing
Like,
us these toothbrushes? Like
Uncomfortably
veneer,
nice.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Love.
Yeah, just like so white, you're like, that's not healthy.
I used to work in dentist offices before I got into other forms of more legitimate healthcare.
Yeah.
And yes. hmm
Yeah, absolutely.
Luxury bones, I've heard that they're called.
Luxury bones. Yeah, that's the
Luxury
capitalism.
bones.
Luxury bones.
Yep.
22 Arcana.
As far as you can tell, these are mundane toothbrushes. This is mundane orc toothpaste. This is just like he's that guy on Halloween. It's like, listen, there's lots of like great sweets to eat around here, but tusk rot, it's you know, your whole clan will look down on you. You know, you are a halfling. Do you want half the teeth? I don't think so. You have second
I
breakfast
actually
and
have
luncheon and dinner and
2/3 of the
supper.
amount of teeth that a human does.
I know that, and it still makes me uncomfortable. And then he like Shaggy just has like maybe an armful of toothbrushes at this point, and he goes over to Scooby and he goes, "Okay, let me check them. Let me check the pearly whites. Oh, okay, thumbs look good.
Definite
They're very
growl.
healthy."
Yeah.
He just gives a bop on the nose. He goes, "No."
Oh, I want to.
Hey man, I'm afraid of tooth decay, but I'd be more afraid of doing that.
Oh, good line.
Remember, the
Mhm.
greatest evil is gingivitis
Mm.
and necromancers.
Gingivitis.
Oh, tell me more about necromancy. I would love to hear more about necromancy.
I don't know. It's scary though, bones and stuff, but the kinds
Mhm.
that shouldn't be exposed to air.
Right. Do you know anything else about necromancy, perhaps in relation to this town?
No, I'm a dentist.
Hmm.
Inside check.
For sure.
I'm also inside checking.
But you said you were a dentist and you were other things. You take care
Yeah.
of the teeth and other stuff.
Oh, I just mean that I'm not going to like sell parts of you while you're asleep.
Yeah, cool. That's a normal thing that people would bring up in conversation.
I'm not a
inside
normal
check-
person. I'm a dentist.
You know what? Fair. I believe you 100% now.
Listen, it takes a person who's not normal to want to mess with other people's mouths, okay?
I got a 12 for insight.
There's two professions out there that really work with mouths a lot, and one of them takes a doctorate, you know what I mean? You said you got a 12.
Amazing.
So yeah, I mean, it does not seem like he knows much about necromancy. It definitely seems like he might have some other special interests. Like this guy's weird as all hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, tough to determine what his special interests are. True
I
story.
probably don't
I
want to
believe-
know.
Yeah, I believe my partner Eva has a dentist right now who lists on like his dentist profile that he's an avid fan of like diving, archaeology, like bone bleaching and collecting, and also like Marvel comics or something like that. Like he lists all that on his doctor's profile and specifically says he doesn't golf. So who knows? I mean, dentists
Yeah,
are fully realized creations.
Every dentist I ever worked for was at least slightly insane. So, yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
some more than others. One time I worked at a Scientologist dental office.
Oh,
That's a story
Wow.
for another time.
Dang. How much time do we
I know. I have
Not
so many
enough. Damn it.
questions.
I'm starting to think that this guy is a greater evil than Sarah Brightmoon.
Yes.
Yeah, join us next week for just Tori telling that story. Fuck the rest of this game. I don't know. You
I know,
whatever.
right?
I just want to hear that. He goes, okay, I think our time here is done. I'm going to shrink back into the shadows now. And he does literally like that. He like hunches back over and just like kind of crawls backwards into the shadows.
Oh, thanks. I hate it.
You have to wonder about the general standard of a town who lets somebody like that in their mouth all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't let someone like that, like,
In my
bag
house.
my groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice that the byline or the tagline, maybe if you want to call that, for Dr. Knight's dentistry is "Let me into your mouth."
Oh, hate it so much.
Oh, he's upfront about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
You're not
Got all these free
wrong.
toothbrushes. Very generous.
I'm going to
Very
reiterate,
generous.
don't put them in your mouth. Like, I know Daphne didn't find any magic on them. I would still not put them in my mouth.
At least maybe clean them first.
Okay. Continuing on past Dr. Knight's office, the building that is straight ahead from the bridge. Daphne, again, I think you would recognize from Scrappy's excursion as the town center. No, what do they call it? Town hall. I'm sorry, town hall. Which weirdly enough seems to share space with the graveyard, which is this space right up top here. So just north of the town hall is the graveyard. Yep. And then passing by both of those, you would see that this little angular building is Jill's Diner. Apparently the official location of her diner. And you can see that it is brightly lit. There's a number of like streamers and lanterns that are all kind of hanging, very very well decorated for the holidays or for the Harvest Fest. You can see that there is like bobbing for apples in front of the diner, and it's kind of wide open. It has like these stands where you can walk up and get any variety of food, and she's just kind of, you see Jill there. She's waving to everybody. She's got this big smile, and when she sees, you know, Fred and Daphne, she continues to wave until her eyes lock on Scooby and Shaggy, and then her just hand goes down. She's straight face, just, and then watches you as you're walking by. Continuing on, these buildings are set back just a little bit, and yet I still think you would be able to probably identify what they are. Let's see. The one that is on the left here, you can see that some people are lining up and tickets are being sold, and there is a sign that says Hex Girls Tickets. So that is the ticket vendor. The building just south of that is a concession stand.
Another one of Jill's or a standalone?
All of the food here in town is connected to Jill's Diner.
Well, he's
you
got a
can see-
monopoly.
Yeah, that's a monopoly.
Absolutely. And then absolutely
Absolutely.
you see a small house. This little shack I think is also part of Simone's Diner. It's kind of connected to it a little bit. But you would see right next to the, it's not an abandoned what do you call it, sawmill, but the sawmill does not seem to be in operation. It seems to have been repurposed as another concession stand, but we will still note it as the sawmill. And then Simone's is right before you get that, so it's kind of, you could walk directly up to the sawmill or take the path up to Simone's, and it seems to be just a standard house, much more well kept than Benjamin's was. It seems to have a bunch of windows, and you can see that the garbage bins outside are just like full of paper, just crumpled up paper. You know, you can see that there are like ink stains, ink handprints, like all over the railings that goes up to the house, even the picket fence. Just like it seems that Simone constantly has ink on her hands and is one of those people that just touches stuff as she moves. So you find yourself at her front door.
And she doesn't recycle.
Yeah, that's the true monstrous nature of D&D, is there is no recycling in Haven.
Well, who wants to be the one to knock on this door?
I'm
I
not
guess
really
it'll
good
be
with the
each other.
words.
I
Words are
guess it'll
hard
be
for
me.
me.
Yeah.
And I walk up to the door and I knock on it. But like only the bottom half of the door.
you
I'm
have 3 charisma casters here.
Yeah.
3 charisma casters. My charisma,
And the rogue knocks on the door. Yeah.
my charisma is actively 0. So
It is a very Velma thing, though, which is like, listen, gang, there's nothing to
Yeah.
be scared of. I just took like 30 points of damage from
a bear trap, it's fine.
Yeah, but it's fine.
Yeah, maybe before we knock, we should like bandage your foot.
my hand.
Yeah, it was
Oh, your
I
hand.
misspoke the first time.
Oh.
Oof, that's worse actually.
Hmm.
For a rogue especially. Ooh.
We
yeah.
did get back some hit points from
I did.
from Sir Frederick, thankfully. A moment goes by after you knock on the door. It is a standard white painted door on a white painted house. You can see that there is a little sign up front that says Home of the Haven Herald, and then a little bit below that in smaller text, and Simone. There's an ampersand, but the ampersand is backwards.
Right.
But a couple moments go by and you hear a lot of like clanging and like somebody tripping over stuff as they're trying to get to the door. And the door opens slightly and you can see a woman kind of like peeking out. And she goes, "Oh no, it's all of you, isn't it? Well, let's make this quick. If you're gonna kill me, you might as well do it quick." And she opens the door and just kind of like puts her arms out.
Boy, oh boy, I have so many questions.
Wait. What?
Jeepers,
you-
you thought we were gonna kill you?
Well, I thought that I thought that you had come into town to. Why are you here? Why are you at my home?
Well,
And
we're
also home of the Haven Herald.
yes, absolutely. We're here investigating the mystery, and we were told you're on the town council.
Yeah, both those things are true. She like pushes her glasses down. She goes, "You want to know?"
And I
about
push my
mysteries?"
glasses up.
Uh-huh. I can tell you about mysteries. She opens the door and gestures for you to come in. You can see that inside there's paper just all over the floor, all bits of newspapers. There's a rudimentary printing press that she's been setting typeface for. And you can see...
Is there like a board with red string somewhere?
You don't see a board with red strings immediately, but what I will say is Velma is perceptive enough that she would note that the typeface on the newspaper, what's been printed for tomorrow's, is cult successful again. And as she gestures you into her home to perhaps speak about this mystery, I think that's where we're going to end for today.
Oh,
Whoa.
Wait, good time. Thank you all for joining us for part 1 of Night of Fright. Aren't you glad we didn't do this in 1 week?
Yeah, it's such a good call. Such a good call to do 2 sessions.
Awesome.
They're like 4 hours. I'm like, no.
No.
By the
No.
way,
It's not 4 hours because D&D is never 4 hours, and also because we're way too funny to go by in just 4 hours. There's way too many good jokes going on.
I do want to shout out Stephen Pankotai is how I'm going to pronounce his last name. Apologize if that's incorrect, but it's at Steven PANKOTAI on Twitter, who is the creator, the writer, and designer of Night of Fright Part 1 and Part 2. You can find both of those on DM's Guild. If we hit $200 by next week, it sounds like we're going to do a giveaway for Part 1 and Part 2. Shout out also to Sadie Lowry, who did the original cover art and editing, and Anne Gregerson, who did layout and graphic design. So you can find all of them on Twitter. Let's see, Sadie is incandescent. Yeah, but it's spelled weird. Incandescent, but it's spelled the old English way. So INCANDESCAENT. And Anne Gregerson is Anne of many names on Twitter. I have not checked to see if they still are on Twitter because, hey, some people left. But if you are looking to find them and show out some appreciation, please do so. Yeah, I saw some hands go up here. Thank you so much for joining us for Part 1 of Night of Fright 2. Thank you to those who were willing and able to donate. It's very much appreciated. If donating isn't really your thing right now, because, hey, times can be tough, that is totally okay. We always appreciate your viewership. Maybe a retweet here and there is always appreciated as well. Until next time, we have these lovely people say a little bit about themselves and where you can find more of them. And then we'll do a little channel stuff and wrap up for the night. So, Ark, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Oh man, yeah, I'm Ark. Any pronouns? I am not really on camera anymore. I am head of operations over at Girls Run These Worlds. I do a lot behind the scenes. This is my first stream, I think, since holiday one shots. So like right before Christmas last year. So really fun to be back. Thanks for having me. Check out all of our content. We're doing about 3 shows a week, and you can find everything I'm doing there. Girls Run These Worlds.
Fantastic. Yes, please check that out. Love Girls Run These Worlds. I'm very happy to hear that you're part of the behind the scenes stuff. Next up, we have Kate.
Did you say Katie?
I did.
Okay, I was like, was that me? Hi,
I apologize.
I'm Katie.
They kind of fell out from behind me. So yes, Katie,
okay.
please.
Katie, aka Katie Quixotic. You can find me anywhere I want you to find me. At Katie Quixotic. I stream. I haven't streamed in a while. It's a long story, but it's gonna happen again soon. Here on Twitch, at Katie Quixotic. I do tabletop. I don't do that on my channel as much anymore, but I do that on other channels. Haha. And I generally just like play games and have a good time, and we are cozy.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I personally love Katie's streams very much. Highly recommend checking them out. Next up, we have Tori.
Hey everybody, my name's Tori. You can find me all over the internet on all the platforms as that nerd Tori. I don't have any other streams lined up at the moment. This is my busiest month of the year. I'm all over the place. You can catch me if you're going to be in San Francisco in 10 days, whether you're going to be at Big Bad Con or sort of circling the drain of Big Bad Con like I most likely am. You can totally find me there. I'm going to be secretly playtesting a new game that I wrote about cats. And then after that, you'll be able to find me at PAX Unplugged, where I'll be running event stuff for Gehenna Gaming. I'm part of their event staff. I'm also editing Gehenna Gaming's upcoming brand new fantastic TTRPG, Eldritch Automata, which is a mech horror TTRPG. It's going to be freaking fantastic. I'm having so much fun editing it. And someday I'll get back to streaming on my own channel.
I just want to shout out 2 things real quick. Really appreciate finding like the sweet spot in this month that Tori could join us for this, despite like with how absolutely busy they are. The other thing I want to shout out is we did a 2-shot of Eldritch Automata, however the hell that's pronounced.
Everyone pronounces it different.
Everyone pronounces it different. It was a fantastic game. Definitely recommend checking it out. It's mechs fighting like angels and demons made out of like
accurate
people.
Nonsense.
Oh
yeah.
my guys, it's
the-
so nasty.
Pick up our newly released quick start guide that I painstakingly edited. It's real fun.
It's so good. Highly recommend grabbing a copy if you were looking for some just like really intense mech horror games. Next up, we have Mikyl.
Hi fam, I'm Michael. You can find me. I'm really just like a Sword and Key exclusive. I do art here on the channel. I also play my paladin himbo on Saturdays, Proximus and the Horizons Call, and you can find me more often than not on Instagram, MIKYLSANDOVAL, or just come hang out in the Discord channel of Sword and Key because I have my own channels on there where I post my art. Come hang out. Check it out.
Absolutely. We are always very, very grateful for the art that Mikyl has contributed for Zenith and Humblewood, both seasons of Humblewood, The Unwelcome Winter and Yonderbound, for Horizon's Call, for like a dozen other games besides that. Very much appreciated. As I always say, if you need help finding it, it's Mikyl spelled not the way you think, and then Sand Oval. That's the best way to just put it all together.
Yep.
And speaking of Paladin Himbos, absolutely. Or last but absolutely not least, we have Jenine.
Hello, my name is Janine Florence. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on all social medias at janine.florence. And I also have my own new TTRPG actual play called Thank You D6. Yes, it is a bunch of theater kids playing a bunch of different games, and our first set of games are all D6 games. Just released Honey Heist, and then this week we're releasing a Monster Hearts game called Keeping Center Stage. And I GM all of the R1 shots for this first set, and it's all releasing in October. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
That's awesome. Gene and I were talking about how, you know, it's a pipeline, theater kids to D&D, and you can't fight it. It's gonna happen. So that's awesome. Absolute best of luck with that. Can't wait to support you in every single way towards whatever goals you guys have with that. I am, Derek Sword. I've been your GM for this game. I use him pronouns. Sword is my real last name. Yes, it's awesome. No, you can't have it, but thanks for asking. Thank you to these wonderful people. Thank you for donating to Nami. We have some really cool stuff lined up. This is just the second game of the October charity month here at Sword and Key. So a lot of cool stuff to come. Speaking of, tomorrow, we have the return of Journey to Book's End. It is the Cypher game being run by Mare. It is not part of our charity month, but we'll play every Monday typically until the campaign comes to its logical conclusion. So please check that out at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. On Tuesday, also not part of the charity month, but just a weekly thing, I will be joined by Shadow and LD as we play Gate Night. It's the only video game currently streamed here on Sword and Key. Play Baldur's Gate 3, and we do all the Baldur's Gate stuff. We flirt, we fight, we all the Fs. On the 16th, we have the next part of our October charity month, which is Call of Cthulhu. I did not misspeak. It is Call of Cthulhu with cats. That is being run by Wild. It has a fantastic cast, and that will be 4 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday the 16th. On the 17th, Zenith is back. It's our ongoing 5e campaign being run by Alex, who's one of my favorite GMs. Absolutely incredible cast over there. So check that out every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. On the 18th, Woodland Gods, a hack that Anik will be running at 10 a.m. Pacific time, will be part of the October charity month. That's on Friday. So if you're not at work or can watch streams during work, by all means, if you're European folks, that's the spot for you. It's the 10 a.m. slots. Also, we are doing movie nights on our Discord. You can join our Discord. I'll talk about how to join our Discord in a second, but we are doing double feature movie nights every Friday throughout the month of October. The upcoming one are movies about Hunter Becomes the Hunted, monster movies. We're doing Prey, and we're doing Out of Darkness. Prey is the indigenous predator movie. Out of Darkness is the prehistoric monster horror movie that I actually haven't seen yet, but I've heard interesting things, so I'm excited to watch it. On the 19th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, Horizon's Call will return. And we'll play the 19th. It'll be off the 26th. It'll be back the 2nd. We're ramping up to the end of Season 4. On the 20th, Part 2 of Night of Fright will be back, as well as Humblewood Yonderbound, which did take the day off today, but we'll be back next week. And then we also have a podcast, Monster Crush. Monster Crush is a podcast that I do with my friend LD. We talk about different cryptids, creatures, miscellaneous monsters from myth, and how smoochable they are. So if you love monsters and like really love monsters, we have a new episode that's out. That's our Halloween threesome episode. We're coming up on episode 90, which is going to be our Dracula episode. So I might actually postpone that because I really want to give Dracula his due. So that might come out It's probably going to come out the 27th. I'm just going to say that now. I'm literally going to move it on the calendar right now. Other than that, the only other things that are different this month from any other month, we have a 10 a.m. Monster of the Week, a night in the museum that I will be running on the 26th. And LD will be running Step Flaming Preps at 3 p.m. Pacific on the 27th. That is a game that she wrote. It's a Honey Heist hack based on the Harry Potter early 2000s hot topic gothic fanfic that also includes vampires called My Immortal, like the infamous fanfic My Immortal, and she made a whole TTRPG about it, and that will wrap up our Halloween charity month. So we're going out with a bang. As November and December come in, holidays are going to be busy for everybody, so we might have some applications out here or there just to keep some stuff going, but otherwise things will probably quiet down until the new year, and we'll have even more stuff for you then. So until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I appreciate you all thinking into this wonderful cast. Thank you to you, and we will see you next week, if not sooner. Zoinks, Jinkies, and would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling adventurers. Bye.